Hi guys. Sorry I'm a little late. I just finished setting up and I figured out how to add Tammy as an admin, so we're gonna try that whenever she's not busy moving. So happy birthday, Denise. You're younger than my mommy. But I feel you. She's like that too. Good and bad days. Thank you, Milo. I don't know if I said your name right, but nice to have you here again. Sorry I'm late. I apologize. I was just finished getting set up, I should say. It's one of those days where I didn't want to do anything, so I really had to force myself to get on here. I've been a little drained lately. Still trying to, I guess, recover from all the work I was doing before. So, hi, Midnight Noon. Denise, Shazam. Hi, Melinda. Oh, okay. I have to look on my Facebook and see who's saying hi. Because they just say Facebook user. It doesn't say name, of course. So whoever said hi on Facebook, hi. I'm going to go look right now and see who you are. Yvette. Hi, Yvette. Let's see. Hi, Cassie. Let me put my banners up. Just giving everybody a chance to get here. Okay. So welcome to all the new members. New subscribers. I'm taking ideas for a live for members because I do want to do a live for members, but I think it's just going to be a getting to know you live. Because I have so much to catch up on as far as Patreon and whatnot. Hello, Miss Misty. I owe Patreon 2 readings this month, so I've got to get that done next week. Appreciate the patience on that. So I see some new people in the chat tonight. I know it's a late live. I'm so sorry. I literally had to force myself to get on here. So a big thing about that is boundaries. As far as the heart palpitations, that means they're too close. You need to tell them to back up. Spirit can give anxiety and things like that. So sage, healer, sandalwood, sweetgrass, lavender, all that stuff. It's not really it's not really going to do much. I would suggest getting a stone that maybe something like obsidian or hematite or a melody stone or something like that to wear. And possibly I would ground. If you don't know any grounding techniques, I would look into grounding techniques. So I would also do some kind of aura cleansing if you can, or I would definitely just say that you need to have boundaries. Your boundaries are not strong enough. When they're bothering you like that, you need to say something to them. That's a big thing, is remember that you're in control when you're working with spirit. When I first opened up, I had a lot of anxiety. I thought I was having a heart attack all the time. And And that's what happens when you're first opening up, since you're not used to feeling the energy. So I think crystals would work better than any of the other stuff. Something that you wear next to your heart, something that you wear, around your neck, or a bracelet or something like that. I would suggest. Okay, I don't know if that would be the right one to use. I don't know, my neck is hurting for some reason. I don't know all my stones by heart, so I'm going to look it up for you real quick because I don't know them all by heart. Those are just the ones I know off the top of my head. Any green stone would work for your heart chakra. I would make sure your heart chakra is balanced. That's one big thing that can cause it as well. It might not even be spirit. Your heart chakra might not be balanced. So I would work on balancing your heart chakra. So let's see. Amethyst is good. Black tourmaline, rose quartz. Those are all ones I said. Hematite. What the heck? No thanks. There's another one. I can't think of the name of it right now. Oh my gosh, what is the name of it? It's going to bother me now. Lapis lazuli is also good. But I think a big part of it is your heart chakra isn't balanced. You need to balance your heart chakra. Not having a balanced heart chakra can cause anxiety and things like that. So I would start with that. Amazonite was another good one. There's one I can't think of right now. We've talked about it on here too. Any green stone will help with the heart chakra. Or pink, rose quartz will work. Also, make sure that your magnesium isn't low. Magnesium causes low magnesium causes anxiety like that. So make sure that your magnesium isn't low as well. Sometimes it can be not just spiritual things, but physical things as well. So emerald, amazonite, green jade, rose quartz. Those are all for I'm being told your heart chakra isn't balanced. Well, you can Google other crystals for your heart chakra, as well as balancing and any kind of protective stone that would help you. So that's my suggestion. I don't think your heart chakras, I don't think it's balanced. Usually when our chakras are out of balance, and especially our heart chakra, that can cause anxiety, heart palpitations, chest pains, things like that. It means your heart chakra is out of balance. Because remember, our chakras are energy centers. And if they're out of alignment, it can cause that. Just like people will have headaches if their third eye is out of alignment. Rose quartz would be fine for. I mean, you can Google other crystals that might help you, but I mean, rose quartz would help with your heart chakra as well and balancing. So you need a protective stone and something for your heart chakra, because they keep telling me that it's your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is not in balance. But like people that have headaches, or their third eye could be out of balance. I just taught all this in my class about how the different chakras can cause physical ailments when they're out of balance and they're not aligned properly, especially when you're first opening up into things. And also, I would take magnesium because low magnesium can cause anxiety as well. And sometimes, yes, it is spiritual, but it's also physical combined. It's possible. I'm just telling you what Spirit's telling me. I would make sure your magnesium isn't low because magnesium can also cause anxiety. So it wouldn't hurt you to take some magnesium supplements and see if it helps ease that. But I think it's a mixture of everything. And not having boundaries. Yeah, Denise, that one was a little shocking. Me and Shazam were a little shocked about that as well. We were super shocked on the Marilyn Monroe reading. No, I just have I don't know how to do any of that, Jamie. As far as like putting crystal packs and stuff together, I don't even know because the merchandise site that I use, that would be like something for Etsy and whatnot, and I don't even know how I would do that because I can't afford to buy it and put it together. You know what I mean? So I really just have T-shirts and whatnot. No thoughts on Delphi. I mean, when we went back over the readings, I think it stated that there was someone in handcuffs, but I mean, things happen when they're supposed to happen in the time they're supposed to happen in. So I think they're on the right track. I do think that who they have now is a piece of the puzzle. I don't think he's the whole puzzle, but I think he's a piece of the puzzle. And I agree with that because that's what because I got his name, so I have to agree with that on that. I don't know why else they would give it to me other than to say he was going to be arrested. But so, I mean, I think for Patreon we're gonna do Princess Di because her anniversary just passed, and then I got to think of one more, probably a serial killer or something. I don't know. I got to think about that. But I owe two for Patreon because I was too busy last month to do it. This work is like super draining. I mean, the sketches, one looks like Kagan, allegedly. We've put it side by side, and it does. It matches. The thing that's crazy about that is that I used my uncle, like Spirit kept referencing an uncle that I had. And that uncle, you know, he had a son, and that son, there's a picture of Kagan at Christmas. It looks exactly like my cousin. Exactly. My mom thought it was him. So I thought it was weird because his dad is what I used off of the sketch. So to me, I think he looks like it, but I mean, I don't know. All I know is I had stuff drawn up, you know, that I was seeing. And when I did my Delphi auto rights, I got multiple cases, past, present, and future that I didn't realize. So not everything is gonna be for Delphi. There'll be other things, you know, as well. Well, normally thoughts will come into your head that aren't yours. You can feel anxiety or chills or tingles, things like that. You'll get pictures in your mind out of nowhere. There's certain things like that, like if someone's trying to communicate with you. They can also communicate through songs and other things like that. Well, actually, Laura, I believe that Kagan is Hispanic or Spanish or whatever. I guess I've heard he has it in his heritage. I don't know, or he looks that way because my uncle is, is Latino, and so therefore his son was half white and half Latino, and his son looks just like I could not believe it. My mom thought it was my cousin, but it wasn't. There was one point where they looked a lot alike. Yeah, no, I don't. Maybe one day. I mean, it's an idea for one day, but as far as now, I mean, takes money to make money, you know what I mean? As far as putting that stuff together, like I couldn't even pay my Etsy store, so I let it go. But my merchandise is being worked on by someone right now. So there'll be new merchandise, like as far as, hoodies and all that'll should be here in time for when the weather cools down. That she's working on for me right now to make it better, make it look better. So we had some issues with that site that we were making it on. So she was trying to fix it. I did it, and of course I did it wrong, or it didn't upload like it was supposed to. And she told me, she says, "Oh, I gotta get it fixed. I gotta fix it for you." I was like, "Yeah, better you than me, because I will mess it up. I'm not technological in any way." So, what I was trying to do tonight was, let's see. Okay. So what I was trying to do tonight was readings for donations. I've done this a few times. If you guys have watched my channel, you've seen that we've done the lives like this, and then we chop out each reading and put them as separate videos. It doesn't have to be a mediumship reading. It can be an intuitive guidance reading, whatever kind of reading you want. So the way that we do that is you would send a donation, and then we would bring you on here. There would be a link. I'm going to put it in here, and so the way that we do, but don't send any donations yet. And if you can send a donation not to the super chat, to the donation links here, because I don't get the super chats for a whole till next month, or I get it once a month. That's okay. So that's why I'm just going to explain it real quick. So the way this works is I can't just do any messages for my mother and just start doing that, because I would have to connect and all of that. So the link is there. You would have to click that link, but I have a 25 minimum donation for mediumship readings. Because I get so much information, because it's so draining, I was doing it for really cheap, but I was doing like 30 minutes, an hour for like $10. And unfortunately, as much as I would love to do that, I have, I've got bills I got to pay too. So, it does take a lot of energy and time to do readings. And as much as I would love to do them for free, unfortunately, this is my full-time gig. So this is my only income that I have. So that being said, the donations are $25, and you can do more if you want, but that's the minimum for a mediumship reading. You would click the link, and yes, good to have you here, Laura. Thank you. So you would click the link, and I would bring you on. You do not have to show yourself. You can put no picture. You can just put a picture up there, or it's usually a blank screen. You do not have to show yourself. But we're liking to bring people on so that they can validate, kind of like how Matt Frazier does his. when he does the readings. Only I don't have like a group and I'm picking out people because that's just not really how I work. So if you were interested in that, you would make your donation, you would click the link, and you would come on with me and we would do a reading. I would preferably have you send me a picture. I can work off a name. I just like to work off a picture more. Or I can do whoever comes forward. But sometimes when that happens, we get a bunch of people. So you'd be getting little messages from each person instead of, a nice message from one person. So yeah. Because you got to remember, like, there's a lot of people in the spirit world right now, especially with everybody that's around here. Sometimes their loved ones will come around and just like kind of hang around as you guys are here. All right. So I have to hone in on a certain energy. Yeah, it's right there on the screen. You should be able to see it on the screen. So everything is on the screen, so that you can see it. I'm gonna go to the YouTube and pin the link at the top for StreamYards. Okay. So, you know what I mean, Laura? Like, it's hard to like just pull her energy in without a picture, without a name, without doing a full on reading. Oh, thank you, Grammy. I didn't see you in the chat. You didn't say anything, huh? Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the cold case I worked on in Marvin Frank, I think it went pretty well. I know I'm gonna be putting another video of mine up. I went and got all the rest of the last reading that I did. And I need to just type it up so I can put it out. It's basically the same. It basically says the same stuff. Except for maybe a little bit more on location, but I don't know. Because I was typing it, so as we know, sometimes I get other cases when I do that, or other information from other cases. And it was like 3 years ago. But still, I think maybe it's important to put that information out. I know, I didn't see you in the chat. I saw a lot of other people from my channel over in the chat. But and it was cool that they had a lot of people there from my channel that actually went over there. It was nice to see a lot of you guys for the support. Thank you, Denise. Through that email right there. But first, if you donate and tell me you donated, then I can start making a list. If you guys are interested, we can start doing it that way. But if you don't have me on Instagram or Facebook, you can send it out right there through that email. The same one that's for PayPal. It's the same one. So this the psychicsleuth@gmail.com. Sorry. That's where you need to send the picture. The psychicsleuth@gmail.com. It's rolling across the bottom. But if you do send a donation, please make sure that you stick around for your reading or make other arrangements for me if you have to leave. Because I had somebody do that and I've been messaging her and I can't reach her and we have not made other arrangements. That reading it'll never expire. So if she ever comes to me and says she wants a reading, then, I'm good for it. But just make sure you guys stick around. And if you don't, email me and be like, I had to leave. Can we set up a private reading? I'll still do it privately, or we'll do it the next time I'm live. I past life past pets or alive pets. Because I can do past pets. They're just like speaking to a regular loved one, and I actually love doing them. I give really good deceased pet readings. As far as being alive, if people ask questions, yeah, okay. Yeah, I do pet readings. Most people that are real mediums can do pets and people, because the pets still have a consciousness just like the people do. Is they still have a soul, a spirit. It's no different than connecting to a person, and they talk like people, and they communicate the exact same way. Yeah, thank you. I'm actually she contacted me and said that the stepdad and the mom want a private reading, so I can see if I can get more in-depth information for them. So they are actually going to contact me for a private reading, which I thought was really awesome. I guess he was very happy with it. He said that I guess stepdad was very surprised and happy with the information in the reading. So him and mom want a reading. You don't have to come on camera. If you end up getting a reading and clicking that link, there is a way that you don't have to come on camera. It's just a blank screen. So you can either put a picture or have a blank screen, but we would still hear your voice. And the reason why we do that is so that you can validate. Because what we do is, if we have your permission, we splice out the readings and we make separate videos of just the readings. So it kind of shows how I connect and things like that. It goes on my channel. So you don't have to be on camera, but your voice would be. You would just not put the camera on. Because no one sits and reads the chat, and it's like I'm doing readings for myself. So we started doing it that way. That's one reason I do StreamYards. So I could bring people on. Shazam's moving, so she's packing all weekend. That's why she's not on here with me tonight, because we're going to do a night where she comes on with me. And I'm trying to make her an admin so that she can mess with the comments and stuff like that, so I don't have to deal with it. Did you happen to find what you were looking for, Grammy? I forgot what it was and where it was, but I know that you were looking for something. I know. I'm probably going to do it for free unless they want to donate. It doesn't matter to me when it comes to things like that. I try to do cases for free unless people want to donate if I can. Yeah, she's been in here a few times. That's why she had me on, because she's been watching me for a while. She actually said she wanted me to do it a few months ago. But after Kylie, she was like, okay. I think it was hard because, they had the non-believers. They didn't want to lose any subscribers, but most of their subscribers seemed okay with it. There was a couple that were like idiots, but, other than that, there's always a couple. There's always a couple. It's a 20-year-old case. What does anybody have to lose at this point? So I'm just going to clear real quick because it looks like we have Tara that's going to be coming on. Tara, did you... Yeah. Well, I mean, there's lots of cases like that. That's what I'm saying. There's no point not to have a psychic work on it. Like they have any other leads. I mean, well, they've arrested people and let them go or whatever. But I think it's more for the family that needs the answers, and hopefully I can provide more in a private reading. Sometimes spirit won't talk about things publicly for whatever reason. So yeah, I know. Trust me, Jamie, I know. I worked so much like trying to get my YouTube growing and stuff that after Kylie, like I don't know, for some reason, because I was getting visions like all the time with that case and the other cases that were coming in, and it just like every time I get a vision it uses energy, right? And it was like repetitive, so that really drained me for some reason. And then after that I kind of just got more drained. Okay, Shazam. I'm just going to clear real quick, Tara. Did you already send your donation? That way I can mark you guys good. Hard to tell sometimes, Milo. Hard to tell sometimes. Like in readings, I don't even like to say it. I don't like that to be because I could always read the energy wrong. It's hard to tell. There's a couple cases I can't even really tell on. I'm not great at reading energies, but usually if I get a lot of information, they're usually passed. If I see a passing, they're usually passed. If I don't, if I can, like, there's been a couple that that were runaways that I worked on, and they were alive, and I knew they were alive, and I could see where they were, and a couple times we sent people to them, and they were found. But there's been times where someone's been really bad on drugs, and I thought they were, and they weren't. So I try not to say it, because sometimes it's hard to tell depending on their energy and whatnot. Hard to explain. I'm just not. I tried to learn that in Lisa Williams' class, and it wasn't anything I really could pick up on. Right here, there's a PayPal, there's a Cash App, and there's a Venmo. It's all on the screen right now. So Tara, did you send yours? So I know. Type. I haven't gotten anything, so. Okay, I just now got it, Tara. I don't know why. Okay, let me clear real quick. I was trying to do that while I was answering questions. It wasn't working very well. I always try to do that before I come on, and then I forget. Okay, I see you private chatted. Got it. Okay, yep. Thank you, Tara. I just saw your message. I always forget to check that thing. Okay, 1 second. Okay. There's a lot of spirit energy around me. I can feel it. Oh, I'm freaking getting super hot. Hold on. I almost forgot to take out my handy dandy EMF. I need to figure out a place to put this EMF so you guys can see it. And I'm having all kinds of pains all of a sudden. Okay. And anxiety. All right. Okay, Tara. I know I haven't done this in a while, Denise, because I've been exhausted. I'm telling you, my energy's been horrible. Okay, there's Tara. Hi, Tara. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Sort of. Yeah.
So what are we doing today? You said
So might
intuitive.
not be as yeah. The relationship that I have is my mom's mother died when she was 8 months old. And I don't have any pictures of her, but I was very close to her mother, which would be my great grandmother. Her name was Jenny Rowe. And my mother was raised by her father in a very abusive situation. And my mom really wants to connect with me on a closer level. She lives very close to me. And I struggle with it because she has not been exactly the best mother she is the best mother as far as when she isn't drinking. So she has an alcohol problem that has really interfered with our relationship. So I struggle with that with her. So I don't know how to mend it or forgive her for some certain things through my childhood or what that situation is going to take because she's really forcing it and I struggle with that.
Okay. So what I like to tell people with intuitive guidance is any kind of information can come through kind of like the same with mediumship, past, present, or future. Okay, symbolic or multiple meanings, but with intuitive guidance, you still have free will. So all those spirits going to give the best advice and the best what could happen, what's most likely to happen. You have the free will to change that, and so does anybody else involved. So I do have to put that out there because sometimes people can make other decisions and go different ways than what spirit says, and then they'll come back and say, well, that didn't happen that way, and it's like, well, then
Okay,
you made another decision. So I try to tell people that because nothing's kind of written in stone, right?
that makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when it comes to your mom, one thing you have to understand is we come to this earth with a lot of lessons, and sometimes they're harder than others. Okay, one of her big lessons is to overcome her alcoholism, which she hasn't done a great job of doing, but I don't think she's had the support system. It feels like there's things that have happened back in her life, like earlier in her life, that has caused
Mm-hmm.
some pain, and it's almost like the drinking is a form of medication for her. You know what I mean? Um,
100%.
so I feel like she self-medicates. Getting chills with that,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like she self-medicates. So that's really hard. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's hard to forgive her and kind of put that aside because, I mean, I understand the whole addiction and alcoholism is hard to get past, right?
Right.
Um, However, I feel like if you were to just start off slow,
Mm-hmm.
little conversations here and there. You don't have to just all of a sudden be this clingy daughter and with her all the time and all that. Just get to know her. I think it's going to ease some of that alcoholism.
We're
And I think because I think it's a big part of it is her because I think she wants this relationship with you. You know what I mean? And I think that it hurts her that you don't want one. And being a
right.
mom myself, it hurts when our kids hurt us. So it's not helping the situation. So one thing, although it's hard for you to do, is maybe try to put the differences aside, put the past behind you because we can't really live in the past, right? We don't grow if we live in the past. And try to see where she's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Try to put yourself in her shoes and understand that she just wants to get to know you. And I think and I feel if you guys become close enough that she will feel like she can get help. I don't think she has the push or the will or the reason to want to get sober. You know what I mean? But I think
Right.
if you were to come into her life more and you guys became closer, that maybe you would be that reason.
Uh-huh. Why why do you think that so when she is drinking, so when she's not drinking, we talk all the time and
Mm-hmm.
I try to stay away when she is drinking, but she seeks me out when she is drinking and I try to kind of scoot away. And
Yeah.
it seems to me like whenever I kind of get a little space to like kind of move away, or if I'm just doing anything, she finds me and is alone and she corners me and she starts crying and she starts talking about the abuse and trauma of her childhood, which you were
Okay.
right on. It was
Mhm.
awful, awful,
Yeah.
awful. And she just like depends on me and I'm like her mother. I've been her mother my whole life as a young child, and she was physically abusive to me as well,
Mhm.
and
Because
very, very verbally
she didn't know any
abusive.
better. You know, that's how
Right.
that's kind of what she was shown. So she's doing what she was shown. And I think she has a lot of regret. I think she has a lot of regret, and I feel like she's kind of trying to make up for it. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
she feels bad for everything that she put you through. And I mean, people with that kind of trauma that don't get that help, the scars are pretty deep. The wounds are pretty
Yeah.
deep. So it would be nice if she could get some mental help, because that's what she really needs, is to go to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, someone like
Hmm.
that, where she can talk to them about that. Because that's basically what she's using you for in those
Right.
times. Like, and she's holding it all in, right? And you know, sometimes we hold everything in, we kind of just explode. And when people are drinking, they become a little more emotional, and everything comes
Hmm.
to the surface. So that's why she does that. Is because it's yes, it's self-medicating, but it also dredges everything up.
Right.
So they do it to try to numb their pain, but also it brings everything to the surface at the same time. And um I think she feels really bad for the past. It comes across as she has a lot of regrets, and she feels really bad for the way that the mother that she was to you. But it comes across as like she didn't know how else to be.
Yeah.
From her issues, like she didn't know how to be a mom.
Right.
Um so I mean, it's one of those relationships that you guys have chosen to come together for, and I know that's hard to understand as a human, but as a spiritual being, you guys decided to go through this together. You both have, this is like your soul contract with each other. Um
Okay.
so there's lessons that are supposed to come out of it. There's lessons of forgiveness, there's lessons of learning how to deal and handle things like this. And hopefully, you know eventually, I'm hoping that she can get some, because what she really needs is some psychological help.
I
That's what
agree.
she
I've
really
been
needs.
pushing for that. She goes to the doctor and they tell her that she's the most normal person they've ever seen. They took her off antidepressant medication. They told her she's great. And I said, have they lost their minds?
I would look for a different doctor.
Yeah. I wouldn't have tried more.
um because I mean, just because they have an MD does not mean that they're a good doctor. I've seen some doctors that are totally dismissive like that, and then there's other ones that can see things.
Well, I think
So
when she's sober, she's got a really
mhm,
good game face, and when she's good, she's really good.
yeah,
When she's good, she's great.
yeah,
It's
I know.
just sometimes,
My
yeah,
husband was an alcoholic, and when he wasn't drinking, he was the best person in the world, but when he was drinking, he was a nightmare. And
yeah,
sometimes it does that to people. So I understand where you're coming from that. And I agree with Grammy. I was actually going to say that maybe if you voted to go to therapy with her, maybe it would be something that she would do, because she's not by herself.
okay,
That might be a stepping stone. You might not be there, get there right away. That might be something to consider in the future. But
okay.
I definitely feel like I think she's a little bipolar too, but
I
um
think that too.
yeah, I think she's got some, and I keep getting chills with this, so it tells me that it's right. But she's got bipolar and depression, and I think it all stems like from her childhood. It all stems
Hmm.
from like what I picked up on in the beginning. It was just she's self-medicating for all of that, because it was very traumatizing for her. People deal
Hmm.
with traumas in different ways. Some turn into bad people, some turn to drugs, some turn to alcohol. um so this is one of her ways of kind of self-medicating. So she has to, I mean, if she's going to the doctor, that tells me that she wants to, but the fact that doctors are being idiots isn't helpful. um she needs to be, I don't know, what do you call it when, like, you go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist and they do like a evaluation on her. So she needs to have an
Yeah,
evaluation done on her by someone that's
she's,
like in a not a doctor, not an
she went
MD,
to,
because they freaking don't know, but someone that is more in the psychological field.
yeah, she went to like a rehab center and they did the same thing. They say, I've never seen anyone not have withdrawals like you. You do so great. And they tell her she's like so much more normal. Like they always praise her
Yeah.
because she's able to turn it on and off so well.
Hmm.
but they don't see her when she's drinking like I do. That's when she's a disaster. So they see her sober, so she's great. She seems amazing, and she is amazing when she's sober. So
So
that's the
there,
hardest part. I tried to videotape her, but she gets very angry if I've tried to do that. So I haven't found a way to be able to do that so she can kind of see it, or I can show somebody so they can, because it's very difficult.
I mean, she seems like she wants to get better. She wouldn't be going to the doctor at all.
Right.
Is my opinion. So maybe a different rehab.
Okay.
Some of those rehab facilities, the live-in ones, I mean, I know they're expensive. I don't know if her insurance would cover it or anything like that. Those ones are good because they have the psychological help as well as the help for your addiction. Because she needs both. I mean, she needs the rehab or AA or whatever. AA would be in the future because I think that she needs a rehab first, and then continue the AA. But it seems like she wants to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
she does.
It's not like she doesn't want to. So maybe this is something that you can talk with her and just tell her, our relationship would get a lot better and things would get a lot better if you would consider doing this. Not just for me, but for yourself. You'll live a longer life.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm concerned about her liver at this point. Because I'm being reminded of a guy that I knew. He was a severe alcoholic. He was a DJ. And he literally turned yellow. And he's younger than I am. I mean, he was like in his 30s when this happened. Okay. And they had to do some kind of, I don't remember, some kind of procedure that it wasn't out yet. It was like something that they just try. And it saved him. And now he preaches against alcoholism. He's got a TikTok, but it's bad on the body too. So that might be another way you can get her to understand. Like it's slowly killing her. Yeah, he was completely yellow. I've never seen anybody so yellow. It was crazy because his liver was just done. So it's not only, wreaking havoc on her mind and the relationships, but also her body.
Okay. Do you see any messages? Just one more question and then I'll let you go to the next person. Oh, yeah. But do you see any messages from her mom that passed that she never got to know? She died kind of tragically. So I think she has some anger toward that situation that kind of,
Yeah.
It was a bad situation.
Because she was adopted?
Nope, she wasn't adopted. So
or just raised by someone else, not her mom? Not her bio mom, I should say.
Well, she had a woman in her life that my grandfather had dated for a long time. And so she has a half brother, and that lady was not very nice. If that's what you're picking up.
Well, you were saying that she didn't really get to have her raise her.
Right. So her real mother died when she was 8 months old.
Okay.
In a tragic occurrence, something tragic.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask you if there was a car accident there.
Yes.
But
yes. I don't know
the
what
reason
happened.
why I felt
Nobody
adopted
knows
is
what
because she was raised by someone else. So
So
that's usually why I get
there
that.
was
Not necessarily legally
that.
adopted, but you know what I mean? Someone else was raising her.
Yeah, so grandparents had she was kind of shifted around a lot. Yes.
Right.
And there was a fight over her adoption. There was an adoption fight, like who was going to get custody of her and things like that. So you're right on that.
Do you know if something happened in the accident that had to do with her neck? Because before you came on, I was having this pain like right here. It's still here. And I don't know if it's her or someone else.
We believe my grandfather, she was with someone else in the car, and he believes that she may have been hurt before the accident happened.
Okay.
But we don't know, and they never investigated it.
Right.
That, she was maybe seeing somebody else and breaking the situation off, and this man was abusive. And going to be back with my grandfather, coming back to him. Is what he says. Now, I don't know. We don't know what the situation is. I don't know. They just called it a car accident.
I'm just trying to see if I can pull her in without. You have her name?
Alice Jean. Well, her married name Westbrook, and it would have been Alice Jean Rowe before that. Rowe.
Okay.
And then Westbrook.
Okay.
Alice Jean.
She might be why I was feeling all the pain I was feeling before you came on. It's mostly my head and and you know what? I feel disoriented.
Yeah.
And disoriented to me is either, I mean, it can sometimes be a head injury, or it's usually, you know, drinking or drugs or something like that in their system.
Okay. Okay.
And it doesn't necessarily mean they took it on their own, but I feel like super out of it, super disoriented.
She was found in the back seat of the car.
Okay. So she wasn't driving?
No. I don't, supposedly. I mean, no one really researched it. I heard that she had her hands folded together and upside down. Are you seeing any other, how she was?
Well, that's what I was trying to get into that, but
Okay.
Everything's kind of like foggy right now.
Well, it was a very foggy night.
Oh. Well,
very foggy.
I don't know if that's just why it's foggy or not.
That was what everyone said. It was a very foggy night, and that's why the accident occurred. That's what they kept selling. That was what was written in the paper, and that was the deal. And I don't know if they were driving fast. I don't know. And I don't know if she was really leaving him. I don't know. I don't know what it is. We don't know what is true.
Yeah, I feel like she I hear the words I had enough. So I think she was done with the other relationship. I think it was one of those things where I hear the words I got in too deep. At one point she had gotten into this relationship too deep, and she was trying to figure out how to get out of it.
Okay.
So I do think that's what she was trying to do. As far as him being involved in this, I don't know yet. Because I'm trying to see, and it's just like I'm feeling all this pain. I'm feeling disoriented. My EMF is going off really to the yellow right now. So EMF it feels spiritual energy. So I'd like to tell you guys when it moves. One day I'll figure out how to put it so you guys can see it. But and I don't get a lot of people move that. You know, they don't really mess with it that much. Do you know if the one she was seeing was also what used to drink?
I wouldn't doubt it, because my grandfather said that in the apartment that he was living in, it had been torn apart, and there was her money. My grandfather had given her some sort of money, and it was thrown all over, he said. And it was very much in disarray, is how he explained it to me. It had looked like something, and something had happened there, an argument of some sort, throwing things, that kind of thing.
Because she says the word alcoholic, so I'm just wondering if that's that's related to him because I keep getting a mail whenever she's talking about that.
At one,
Like she's saying alcoholic, that he was an alcoholic, the guy that she was leaving.
my grandfather at one time was drinking a lot,
Okay.
but he stopped.
But I feel like that this one guy was drinking and it would make him really mean. Like he wasn't a good guy in the first place, but it would make things worse.
Oh.
It's the way that she brings things, the way that she brings it across. And where does
okay.
Is there water that come?
Yes.
There's water that come in this. Okay, was she?
That's what I was waiting for you to catch.
Okay, was she in the water?
Mm-hmm.
The whole car was in the water?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They went over a bridge. I can't believe you're getting all this. This was so long ago. So it was a foggy night. They went
because I'm seeing the car kind of fly off of something. That's why I was going to ask you. It's flying off of something really high and going into the water.
And went into that water. And supposedly she was found like her hands together in the back seat, almost like she was praying and it was upside down. Obviously, this is, 60 some years ago. So it's all secondhand, third hand.
I'm trying to see if there's anybody in the car with her because just being in the back seat doesn't mean necessarily foul play. People follow the air bubble.
They did find 2 people there.
But that's what I'm trying to find.
2 dead bodies.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to figure out exactly what happened because she's giving me bits and pieces, which sometimes they do that to me and kind of annoys me. But she just shows me this car like flying through the air and going into the water.
Mm-hmm.
And was he in the car with her?
Yes.
Okay, this was a suicide.
What?
Well, murder suicide. I think he drove him off the cliff off the bridge on purpose.
Oh my gosh, I'm having chills all over my body. Why am I having chills? Is
I'm
that
having
normal?
chills too. Chills is usually truth. It's just a way for spirit to say.
But why would I have it?
Because I've got them too. Because it's just truth. It's validating you. It's validating it for you. Because I could tell you anything in the world, and sometimes the spirit doesn't give you chills. It's not validating, but I've got them all over. So I think he drove them
all over my legs, everywhere.
Yeah, me too. This is he did this on purpose.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
She was gonna leave him, and then he did it on purpose.
Yep.
And that's why she had the time to be praying in the back seat.
Yes.
Because she was scared already. She knew it was coming.
Yep. I feel like he accelerated.
I've always thought that he went fast. Just he had to have.
I feel like I'm going fast in the car.
Yeah. I've always thought that. And I kind of always had like kind of a discernment or sixth sense.
It's weird. It's almost like I don't know if there was some kind of turn that was coming up or something. But instead of making that turn, he just went straight. And he accelerated. That's what I'm getting, and I'm getting chills as I'm getting that. But instead of making the turn, he just like pressed the gas and went off. I think they were arguing prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
There was an argument that was happening in the car because I hear yelling back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And it just ticked them off even more. Like kind of like if I can't have you, no one else can. You're not going to leave me, kind of thing.
Okay.
So
I think that this alone is going to help my mom in her healing. I think that this is a big thing for her.
Yeah. And I've still got the chills. So
me too.
It's very validating because I'm before that curve goes up, he hits the gas and goes off the bridge.
Did he ever hit her first? That you see?
There was abuse.
Okay.
But as far as like before the accident, I just hear arguing.
Okay.
But I mean, there might have been abuse earlier in the day or something like that. Like she had enough of the abuse because she comes off as very like like she didn't like to pop off back at him, but she
Right.
would sometimes, and he didn't like that. Because I get like a backhand, and I get like he would grab her neck a couple times. That's why she wanted to leave. And I feel
Okay.
actually he forced her into the car before they left.
Oh my
Because
gosh, I'm getting chills again. Yeah. Okay.
it's all, and I'm getting them too. It's almost like he had this plan in his head to do this.
Okay.
Um and I don't know if he ever thought he was actually going to do it, but it was there. When he found out that she was leaving him, and I think she tried to keep it a secret. But I think
She told
there's
my
it
grandpa she was going to keep it a secret.
yeah, I think she tried to keep it a secret, but I think somehow he either found out or it came out in an argument where she just said she was done and she was leaving. You know what I mean? Like I think it just flew
Uh-huh.
out. Sometimes when people are mad, they say things, they just kind of fly out of their mouth. It feels like that's what happened. Because
Okay.
I see him grabbing her arm, putting her in the car, and like she was too scared. He might have threatened her in some way or something like that to get her to go with him.
Okay.
Um so I mean basically it's a murder suicide.
Okay, this makes more sense than anything else I've ever heard. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm gonna try to get a message from her for mom real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so she's apologizing for the choices and the decisions that she made in her life that kind of led up to this happening. She says you kind of get trapped in situations sometimes. That's what she says. And she wants her to know that she loves her, and she hopes that she will turn her life around. She said
Okay.
it would mean everything to her to try to release the past and heal from it and start a better future and a better tomorrow. And she says break the cycle.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like the
Mhm.
alcoholism, like break the cycle.
Mhm.
So she wants her to like break the cycle of the alcoholism and she says that she's seen her whole life. She saw all that she endured, and she's sorry that she had to endure all of that.
Yeah.
She said it wasn't right, and I feel like she was with her during that time.
Mhm.
Like her angel, like she got her through it. So she said there wasn't a time I ever left you. But I'm getting the chills again.
It was so bad.
She's hoping that she will turn her life around for you. She says, don't make the same mistakes that I did where I had to leave my daughter. Make sense?
That's kind of where I'm at with her
Yeah.
is, like
Because
if I continue a
because
relationship,
she
because I
didn't get
have
to
my own daughter and my own son, and I don't know if I need to break off the relationship with her, and I don't want to do that because I know she's a good person. And
I don't think break off the relationship. I think just try to help her get help. You know what I mean? Because she needs you. And I do feel like she's, like I said, she's sorry for the past. And her mom is saying, Alice is saying, to her, don't lose your daughter like I did. Like she didn't get to be with her daughter. She didn't get to have a physical life with her. She has a chance to have a physical life with you. Don't ruin it, is basically what she's saying.
okay,
Like, you have a
yeah,
chance to be with your daughter. Don't ruin it, please. She's like, please. I hear straighten up. That's the word she
yeah,
says.
yeah. She said something really bad recently to me that I just had one of the worst things that any mother could say. So
Well,
it's
and
just been really tough.
you have to understand that that's not her saying that. You
Right.
know what I mean? That's the alcohol. And sometimes when
Yeah.
people are under the influence of alcohol, other things take over. There was times I swear that my husband's
Yeah.
eyes turned black, under alcohol.
Right.
So they change into completely different people. Sometimes some people alcohol does not mix with them. So you have to know that she doesn't mean that
Mhm.
because she would never say it when she was sober.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what she's saying is like, she doesn't want her to lose the relationship with you because she didn't get to be with her daughter.
Yeah.
So she wants her to take advantage of having her daughter in this physical world and, you know, spending the time and making the relationship that she has with you. And hopefully, although it's hard, you know, forgiveness will hopefully come in the future because that's the only way to let go of
I
things.
want to. I do want to.
Yeah. And it's not easy to do. You know, it's not easy to do.
No.
When you come from you have to kind of come from a perspective of, you know, this is our life together. This is our soul contract together. And this is something we have to go through together. And you have to look at it like that, maybe.
Okay.
That might help you. I did a video on soul contracts, but basically if you look at it from a different way of this is her lesson and this is your lesson and kind of your guys' lesson together.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I forgave my husband. Because I had a lot of forgiveness to give him too. Because he wasn't a nice person when he drank.
Right.
And I had to realize that that wasn't him. And I forgave him for all of that, which is hard to do because there's times I still get ticked off when I think about it. But you kind of just have to, in order to move on to the future, you have to kind of let go of the past.
I know. I know. I
And
hate that about myself.
her mom wants her to take advantage of the fact that she does have a relationship with you and not to ruin it. She literally says, straighten up.
Straighten up. Okay.
That's one thing that she would tell her if she was alive. You know, straighten up.
Sounds like my grandma, kind of.
Yeah.
My grandma.
So hopefully,
Okay.
you know, hopefully these words and learning about this. I mean, even though police or whoever didn't rule it, whatever it is, now you guys know the truth, and I think that's what's important.
Okay. Now, if she wanted to speak with you at some time, I think this might be good for her, or healing on a private level or whatever.
Yeah.
How would she go about that? You know, and pay whatever, you know,
You
do the whole thing.
you can reach me on Facebook or Instagram or through my email.
Okay. I might give her your information. You might help her to heal too. All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
Do you mind if we cut this? And
Yeah,
she wants
no,
to
we
cut
gotta
it
cut
into two separate. She wants,
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know why she wants to cut it into two separate ones, but she wants to cut in the intuitive and then the mediumship out.
Okay.
So,
All right.
well, thank you very much, Tara. Please
Yep.
message me and let me know how it's going. And if you need any more help, just let me know.
I will do so. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Took me a minute to get it all, too. Okay, I know I got another donation from... I'm freaking burning up. I gotta see where it came from. I think it was Heart. Something Heart. Oh. I swear I saw it come in here. Heart's Ash. You're next. Where are you? Yeah. It is very draining work. Because sometimes, like, when I have to pull them into me, it drains me more because I have to pull them in. You know what I mean? So they have to use my energy sometimes to it's hard to explain, but we have to raise our vibration and they have to lower theirs, and they kind of sometimes use our energy a little bit to communicate. So that's why it gets draining. And then if you do too much of it, thank you, Denise. Where's Heart's Ash at? Because she donated and I need to do her reading. That one, I'm burning up though from that one. I knew there was another. I knew she wanted intuitive, but I knew that there was a spirit here because I was getting super hot and feeling all these different things like pains everywhere. Yeah. It is. It's pretty draining. I wish it wasn't, but it is. Where's Heart's Ash? Where is she at? There you are. Okay, it's your turn. I got your donation. What is that? Yeah, click the link that I think you figured out how to get on here before. Click the link at the that's pinned at the top. Rose, I love you, baby, but you can't come over here right now. No, baby. Rose, fine. You want to lay down right there, don't you? Can you sit down or something? What? Rose, well, stop moving. My cat just decided she wanted to come bug me, rub on everything and lay. Yeah, no, you can't tell. You can't tell them what to do, especially this one. And every time this one's here, this one comes over to see her, and then she runs from her. It's like her best bud. She loves her. Astra, get your butt out of my face. Every time Astra sees her, she has to run over and see what she's doing. It's weird. They have a weird relationship. Okay. Yeah, I see her. She's on. Heart's Ash is on. I just have to bring her on the thing. I'm just kind of waiting till these cats decide what. I was just taking a little mini break because that was kind of heavy. Yep, they do have quite the personalities, that's for sure. Yep. Okay. Oh, my goats or something. Hard to give them any treats because I basically get attacked. All right, let me see. Dude, you have to move so I can. This is my garage cat. I got her in the garage, her and her siblings. And I ended up keeping them. Hey, why are you biting her ear? Don't do that here. Don't kick me off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I sure can.
Alrighty. I got my 3-year-old in my lap. Sorry about that. You might
Oh, that's
hear
okay.
his
That's all
tablet
good.
in the
I
background.
used to have a 3-year-old at one time. Long time ago, but I get it.
All right. I kind of want to do like a good reading. Like I'm very interested in expanding my gift, and ever since I was little, I always feel like I've had spirit guides around me because lights do weird things, but I'm not sure who they are. I'm not sure who's making lights go on and off all the time.
Okay.
I don't know. I've just
So
always dealt with like ghosts trying to contact me, so I always kind of felt like I was a little bit open like my whole life, but I haven't really had the courage to delve into this until recently because I've been watching a lot of true crime channels and readers, and I'm like, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. I know I can do this. This is probably part of the spiritual journey or the direction that I need to go in. I just never had the courage to. So then I ordered a set of rods from Copper Mosaic, and they came here the day that my mother-in-law died. And so right away I pulled them out, and we were all speaking to her. And so I was like, okay, I really can do this.
okay.
But
So
I'm not so much interested in talking with my mother-in-law, only because we've been talking to her here through the rods, and I got a pretty good handle of that. I'm really interested in seeing, what you have to read about me, like just what comes up in general, and maybe a little bit with guidance for like, do I have spirit guides and who they might be. And
well, everybody has spirit guides. Even if you don't do this work, everybody has spirit guides. And the spirit guide thing is kind of a personal journey because they're your spirit guides. I normally don't get spirit guides, like their names or anything like that.
oh man,
Animal guides, I'm really good at getting animal guides, but I've always been told by spirit that it's one thing that you kind of have to figure out on your own. There's meditations that you can do to meet your guides, and you don't even have to meet your guides or know your guides to work with them. Because like I don't know all mine.
okay, well, who's always around me making the lights go on and off, just giving me clues like watch out and pay attention, things like that through the lights.
So as far as having gifts, we're all born with the innate gifts to be able to connect to the other side. It's just some people close off to it. Some people don't feel like they want to, pursue that. And then there's other people that are very open to it and do want to pursue it. So we all kind of have that connection to the other side. It's just learning to hone it and help it grow, right? So there's lots of things that you can do to help it grow. Rods, I mean, they're great. They're great tools. Tools are a great way to make things grow. Cards, any kind of tools like that. I don't think the rods are as accurate as I would like them to be, just from my experience, but that's just my experience. You can use any tool that you want to use to connect to the other side.
I've tried cool cards in the past. I got a couple of decks, and it's very hard for me because I don't have a good grasp at it, and I got to go in and look at the book, and like it takes me a long time to try to string stuff together. I feel like that's not going to be my niche, but the rods seem like my niche.
I started with cards and I don't use them really anymore. I got a bunch of them here next to me, but you can kind of intuitively read off of them. They don't have to be the reading and the meaning in the book. And it's just like anything, you have to kind of learn it. So they do have classes and whatnot on YouTube that you can watch. Just something to kind of, you don't even have to keep using them. It's just to help you open up. Okay. Meditation is a big key in learning how to connect, and all different kinds of meditations, as much as you can, is going to help you learn how to connect, because you have to be able to quiet your mind like you do in a meditation in order to connect to the other side, as well as it helps with your visualization and other gifts that you have. Learning what the clairs are and how you connect to spirit is also important. So learning, clairaudience,
I have
clairvoyance.
like like if I can feel, and it's almost like an instant no. I can't hear anything. I don't hear nobody talking. Like
Okay,
I
so
don't get visions.
those things can grow. Just because you don't have them now doesn't mean you won't have them. So an inner knowing is called claircognizance, and feeling is clairsentience. So you can work with those very much to feel spirit and to know spirit. Now, just because you could you connect a certain way, but you might not connect the way somebody else does. You know, like we're all different. I try to tell people that we're all different. We all have different gifts. You know, like I'm not going to be like another medium, and another medium isn't going to be like me. But the best way to actually learn how to connect is just practice. There's lots of practice groups you can get in on Facebook or wherever where people practice readings.
I'm kicked off of Facebook forever because of political reasons. Like if you post something political and the rest of Facebook doesn't agree with that, then
well, then the other way. That's just a suggestion. You know, that's just a suggestion as far as.
No, I'm done with all the. I'm older. You know, I'm 38. I'm almost 40. I feel like I'm going on 100. Like my soul does. And I don't care about Facebook. I don't care about social media. I only hop on YouTube for the true crime and the paranormal investigation stuff.
Right. Well, what I was trying to tell you is that it was just an example of practicing. So you can practice however you're going to practice, whether you're giving your friends readings or you make a YouTube channel and give free readings till you get really good at it. Like it was just an example of practicing, because that's what I did when I practiced, is I got on groups and gave readings, because that's the only way you're going to learn to connect, and how you connect and how spirit feels and how they connect with you is by using it.
I've tried going to a few classes in the past. We have a local rock shop that sometimes hosts these classes, and so you can kind of see if you can build your intuition that way. I've taken a class. I didn't feel like it really resonated with me at the time. I've done this other Reiki class, so I thought maybe I can do the healing thing, and I went in and did, like, I guess you would call it Reiki level 1, but the lady gave me 2 attunements, two signs she attuned me to, and you're not even supposed to do that at Reiki level 1, but she did that for me because my health at the time, and this past decade or so, I've had a lot of struggle with my health. So she gave me like her symbol and the other one, Shakure or something symbol, I think. She gave me 2 symbols.
Well, and everything about healing is about intention anywaes. It's about
I haven't really done anything with the Reiki either, even though I was given those symbols, because I feel like I'm, even though that was something I thought maybe I could do, like, I don't know. I kind of just fall off.
Like we're drawn to things for certain reasons. So you're drawn to that for a reason, but that might not be your style. For instance, I took Reiki, but I don't use it because I can't remember the symbols. So I use color.
Interesting.
So, because color is the same way, green color makes a difference. Like if someone's upset, you imagine pink around them and they'll calm down. I learned that from John Holland, I think. But I use color and intention and the angels if I'm healing. And I taught my son the same thing because I can't remember the Reiki. You kind of have to make things your own. There's not really, you have to do things this way. It doesn't really work like that. You do things your own way, and so you have to learn how spirit connects with you. Reading all about reading, learning, watching, whatever way you learn best about all of these things, about spirit, about the afterlife, about psychic medium readings, anything that you can read, that you can learn, do it. Because the more you read, you're telling the universe, the more you learn, you're telling the universe, yes, I want to do this. Okay. So by doing all of these things, a lot of meditation, a lot of learning, and a lot of practicing, that's how you open up. And it might come over time. It's not going to all happen at once.
The thing that always seems like it comes natural to me is like I would say spirits. I've always had spirit interaction like my whole life, but I've tried to maybe like push some of it away. Because, you know, it's not easy when you're younger being like, oh, I seen a ghost floating over my head, you know, waking me up in the middle of the night. People don't really, you know, and especially like 20, 30 years ago, like people don't really believe that type of stuff when you tell them, or they just think you are like, I don't know. I've gone through so much
Right.
with spirits,
Well, and
but
a
I
lot of
really,
light workers have hard lives. And that's so we can have the wisdom and the understanding to be able to help people, because when you're a light worker, you're going to get all kinds, and they're going to have certain life choices, and you can't be judgmental about that. You can be understanding. So I feel like light workers have a harder life to have more compassion. So that's why a lot of life workers have hard lives. But meditation is a very big key in opening up and learning and growing. Also, your chakras, your energy centers, making sure that they're balanced, doing it regularly. If you're working with spirit, you should do it every time before you work with spirit. You should be clearing your chakras.
Yeah, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just picking up the rods and
right. And you want to make sure that you're protecting with the rods too, because just
people
like
are lining
anything,
up, like spirits are lining up.
well, just like with anything, you know, you need to be protecting and making sure that your boundaries are known, because protecting, yes, you're protected by your guides and stuff, but when you're using tools, EVP or rods or whatever it may be, you're still working with spirits. So you
So
still
do I have any spirit guides? Because I feel
everybody
like,
has spirit guides.
oh yeah, that's right. You said you weren't going to be able to give any
I
specific
just don't
names.
get their names and things like that. Like I don't even know my spirit guides. I know my animal guides and maybe, you know, 2 of my guides, but that's it. But I met them by myself. There's guided meditations you can do to meet your guides.
Okay.
I was always taught that that's kind of a personal journey because they're your specific guides. Sometimes I can describe them, but like as far as names and stuff, I can't.
Okay.
Really.
Are they usually like angels, or are they just spirits that passed on, like family members, things like
So
that?
spirit guides, so usually it's the people on the other side that you made a contract with to guide you in this life. Maybe sometimes you guided them in their life, in other lives. But they made a contract and a pact to guide you in this life. And you have ones that you're born with, and you have ones that come in and out of your life as you need them for different things, because they specialize in different things. We can work with angels, we can work with archangels, and we can have animal guides. Everybody has animal guides as well. So a lot of times you will take on the characteristics of your animal guides, and that's just what I learned, because I have a little bit of each of the beliefs. So animal guides are more Native American beliefs, but I work a lot with my animal guides, and that's probably because I'm more attuned to animals. So they work with you the same way. And if you have an animal guide and you look up the characteristics online, because they do have that where you can look, like I have a wolf, so I would look up wolf guide, and it would tell you all the characteristics and what they're supposed to help you with.
I think
And it's usually animals that you're originally drawn to. So
yeah, I think I got a reading from a like an Indian reader at I'm sorry, Native American. I apologize. Wow. Yeah, I'm old. I'm old.
It's okay.
Yeah, there's a local Native American shop. I did pay for a like a totem, like an animal totem reading or something, where they did talk about like your what your animal was, and I forgot all about that, and I couldn't even tell you what I was told at that point, but I think I did try to look into that.
I mean, those ones I can usually tell, like when I'm just talking to someone. So I can tell you 3 that you have so far. You have you have a rat, which if you look up the meaning of it, it's
Yeah, that's my September. That's my Virgo.
not anything
Chinese.
crazy. You also have an owl, and you also have a frog. So I would look those 3 up and see if they make sense to you. Also showing me, I don't know if that's I think it's a cheetah. You can tell the difference between a leopard and cheetah. I think it's a cheetah. I haven't had anybody had a cheetah before. So I would look up those. Sometimes I just get those if people ask about them, and they just show them to me. Animal guides are easy for me. The other guides, not so much. I don't know why. Unless they show themselves to me. Sometimes they do, and I can describe them to people.
Okay, so for the animals, you said rat, frog, cheetah, and what?
Yeah, a rat, a frog, a cheetah, and an owl.
And an owl.
And we have multiple guides. There's not just one or two, there's multiple. Now, on rare occasion, a loved one that you've had in this life can go to the other side and go through the school to become a guide, like my husband did. It doesn't happen very often. Because he's my twin flame, it's a different connection, but it can happen on rare occasion. But usually it's people that we make pacts with before we come here.
Okay.
And
I was really hoping, because the expression, like, you have a guardian angel, I was really hoping, like, these were God's angels.
Well, I mean, we do have guardian angels. That's different.
Oh, okay.
Guides are ones that guides us. They guide us through life, and they
okay.
help us with certain things. Like they help us tune to spirit. They help us with our gifts. They help us with certain things in our life. Like if we have something pop in our head where, you know, it tells us to go right instead of left. You're missing an accident. That's your guide. If you have an idea out of nowhere, that's your guide. Just they guide you through life. So usually those things, that inner voice that comes in, that's your guide kind of guiding you on the way. If you feel directed to take a certain course, that's your guide saying, hey, you need to take this course. That's how our guides guide us. Then we have our guardian angels that kind of, you know, protect us through our lives. And when you're doing spiritual work, you can work with the archangels. Like you can work with Archangel Raphael. He's a healer. So if you're trying to heal someone, that's who you would call in. If you're trying to heal an animal or a person, you would call in Archangel Raphael. And if you're clearing a house, for instance, okay, and you're trying to get rid of an entity, some people do that. You call in Archangel Michael. So yeah, there's all different beings that we can work with. We can work with there's ascended masters like Jesus, Buddha, Mother Mary. Those are all ascended masters. They're also, you know, they're guides, but they're like ascended guides. So you can work with all of them.
Okay.
I mean, we have a spirit team, you know, that kind of helps us through this.
I didn't realize that you could actually pick and choose who you're going to work with. I assumed that like one was assigned to you and you had to figure out who it was.
Well, you don't have to know who anybody is to work with you, no.
Okay.
Your guides are assigned to you before you come here, yeah, and they can come in and out of your life. Same thing with guardian angels. But when it comes to like working with an archangel, you can choose to work. Certain archangels will work with certain people, yes. But like if you're a healer, you're going to be working with Archangel Raphael.
Okay, well that's a good one to know.
Yeah. And there's different ones. I mean, you can learn about what the different archangels work with, because some of them help you find things. Some of them, you know, bring love. So it just depends on what you're needing help with in life. But you can work with your spirit team. There's all different spiritual beings that you can work with.
Okay. Do people normally ask you personal questions, like not about the dead but about themselves, like, hey, can you tell why my kidneys always hurt, type of thing? Like
yeah, I usually I can give medical readings, but I always tell people, I always do a disclaimer that I'm not a doctor and I can't give a diagnosis, but I usually get things that need to be checked or things that need to be looked into. That's basically how I give my medical readings. And personal readings, like I always tell people, like I go off of questions. That's how I answer things. But again, you have the free will to change that. So it's always about possibilities. Readings are always about possibilities because nothing's really set in stone.
All right. Do you feel anything from spirit that you want to tell me that I should know, like any type of message?
They're saying that let me get what they're saying. They really want you to learn. Like learn, grow, and expand is the words I hear. So all the things that we talked about, and meditating and clearing your chakras and all of that, that has to do with working, because I feel like, yes, you do have a connection to spirit. Yes, you do have things. And I actually feel like if you get to where, like you learn how your gifts work and you got a handle on them and you're doing all the protective measures and everything like that, I feel like you could be one to clear houses.
Oh man, like exorcism type stuff.
Not necessarily exorcism, but ghost or entities or negative energy, things like that. Because you're saying that you see ghosts and you feel ghosts and all of that. That's a big part of it. But first you've got to learn how you connect, and you've got to learn how you work, and you've got to go through all the basics first.
Yeah, I know rods is how I'm connecting. Like I feel I get the most information with rods. Like it's just, when I have them in my hand, it's like first nature for me. It's wild. I feel like that's really what my niche is going to be, is
Right.
communicating.
But it
through
can go
rods.
beyond that, because a lot of times when you start with tools doesn't mean you always end up using them. I started with tools and I don't use tools. No.
Oh, right. Like you get the direct download.
Yeah. But I started with tools to open myself up and to learn. So I started with pendulums, and my rods have never been validated, so I don't like to use them. My pendulum has never been validated, so I don't like to use it. Like, it might be marking a place on the map, but I've never had it look, so I don't know how accurate it is. You know what I mean? So that's just me, though. And some people have a niche for rods and are able to use them, and you have to have a complete blank mind when you use them. And I can't have a blank mind because I already get the download and think I know. So it's hard for me to have a blank mind when it comes to using them. But if you can completely blank your mind out, they work fine for people. But just because you use them now doesn't mean you're going to use them in the future. You might not need them.
Interesting.
So yeah, I mean, you just have to, like I said, if you're guided to a certain class, or you're guided to learn something, or you're guided to look something up, just do that. Because I do feel like you could have a niche in, going to haunted places and things like that.
Yeah, I already got too many spirit attachments going to places I shouldn't be going, and having the problem where I can't clear them off of me myself. So I have to call around, look online, and find someone who can.
That's why they want you to learn first.
Because
Because
I
I go to
literally had
haunted
to have
places
somebody
and I don't
pray
have
over
that
me.
problem.
Because for a while, prayer was blocked. I wasn't able to pray for myself. And I don't know why that was blocked, but I literally, when I would get an attachment, I would have to find somebody that could do the prayer for me. And like my example is, it shot. Usually it attaches to the back of my neck. That's where it likes to go when I do get these attachments. The energy shot. She did the prayer over the phone for me, and the energy shot across the room, and a piece of glass exploded. You wouldn't believe it.
Well, this is why you need to learn first before doing that. There's ways and things that you can do to protect yourself, and things that you can learn before going and doing that.
So
I don't
like
pick up
hanging out at
attachments. I go to haunted
graveyards,
places.
things like that, I really shouldn't be doing, because I pick up very dirty spirits, and it's terrible. I hate feeling sick. They make you feel really sick. I don't like doing that. But
I'm just telling you have that ability. Whether you choose to do it or not, that's up to you. But that's what I'm saying. That's why Spirit is saying learn, grow, expand. They want you to learn things before you just go and do them. Like people that, work with certain things or go to haunted places, like you have to know what you're doing before you go there. You know what I mean? Like I go to haunted places all the time, but I don't end up with attachments. I'm not afraid. I have no fear whatsoever. So they know there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, I guess it's that boundaries thing. I don't know how to do that.
So you're going to have, that's why Spirit's saying you don't have to do that, but they're saying you're capable of doing it. But you have to learn how to use it, and you have to learn how to protect, and you have to learn how, you know what I mean? Like you have to learn the basics. You can't just go willy-nilly and start doing stuff. You know what I mean? You got to learn first.
So I'm trying to figure it out. I guess what I'm saying is I don't really know where to go to further the education that I need. I'm just kind of doing what I always do, which is I look stuff up, I buy a couple of books, I try things on my own, and then it's just.
Well, that's basically what I did. I mean, I had a couple mentors, but basically that's what I did. I learned everything I could learn. I learned all about the clairs. I did a lot of meditation. Meditation is super important, and chakras are super important.
Okay.
But you have to learn the basics like anything else. Like you can't just, oh, I want to do this and then go be a surgeon. You know what I mean? You have to start from the beginning and work your way up and learn what you need to
I
learn.
feel like this has been a slow progression throughout my life. I feel like
Yeah.
I've worked my way up
Mm-hmm.
to the point where, like I said, I'm almost comfortable enough where I could be going on YouTube and maybe doing readings myself. Although I'm like not very confident in speech, a little like stage fright, I guess, type of thing. So it takes a certain type of person to really, put themselves on camera like that and speak to an audience. Speaking to an audience isn't really my strong point. In fact, it makes me very nervous. And I don't know if you can tell the nervousness in my voice, even just doing this interview with you.
Well, I'm the same. I mean, I was the same way. I was always nervous. I couldn't get up in front of crowds and stuff.
Karaoke night, someone handed me a
do it.
mic and a little squeak came out of my voice. That was it.
I won't do karaoke in front of people, but if I'm in front of a camera, it's different. Like I can do this and I can have a lot of people watch my videos, but I can't go, like I have a problem with speaking in front of people and I have a problem with like karaoke or anything like that. So, you can do, there's ways on YouTube where you don't have to show your face, but it's one thing that maybe that's something that you're supposed to overcome, but you'll get there. But I mean, you just have to continue learning and growing. Like I said, meditation, guided meditation, those kind of things, it's very important because that's how you learn how you connect.
Yeah, like I'm getting serious hot
information.
flashes. Like I'm not even on camera, and my hot flashes are so bad right now.
Well, the heat is probably spirit. I get really hot with spirit energy.
Oh, okay.
I get hot. Like when I'm channeling, I get
when
hot.
I get nervous. Like when I get nervous,
Yeah.
I get
I
like
get
hot
nervous too.
flashes.
I mean, I get hot when I get nervous too, but I'm just saying if you get hot out of nowhere, sometimes it's spirit. But yeah, like I was saying, practice makes perfect, but you've also got to like learn more about your abilities and how you connect and all that first. Like I know Lisa Williams has a lot of classes. I do classes sometimes. My people are doing readings by the end of their 4-week class usually, where I kind of just go over and more in depth of what we've already talked about. But I know Lisa Williams gives a lot of classes. She can be kind of expensive, but I mean, it just depends. I taught myself. I didn't need anybody to teach me, but some of hers have certificates attached to them. So some people like the certificates. I don't have any certificates. I'm mostly self-taught myself. And that's just by learning how I work, and it took a lot of practice. Like a lot. I did a lot of readings before I ever started, charging for anything. So
yeah, and the only see, I don't know, like you're calling them readings or connections, like I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's the same thing with the rods because I can figure things out. It takes a little bit longer.
People do rod readings all the time. I mean, there's several channels where just they do is rods. Same on TikTok.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only way right now.
Yeah,
Like
that's
until
what I'm
I
saying.
go.
You can use a tool now. It doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to have that tool or always need that tool. But if that's what you feel connected to, then go with it. Just make sure that you're protecting and all of that before you use them.
Cool. Well, thank you for explaining to me about like spirit guides and spirit animals and guardian angels, because I really was, like I said, I haven't tried to figure out who, yet who my guides were, or if I had a guardian angel. So that those type of things interest me because I know that they're there. I just don't know who they are.
Yeah, and we don't have to know who they are to work with them.
So that's good. Maybe
but we don't need a name. We know that there's a being there that we're working with, but we don't need to know their name. But sometimes you might go into meditation and get a name. I mean, I work with mostly my animal guides that I know of, and my husband. Those are the ones that I know about. And I think there's one woman that I've seen a few times. But I know I have more. They're working with me. I just don't know. You know what I mean? Even with the gifts that I have, I still don't know every single guide that I work with and what they do.
Oh, okay. So you really could have a lot.
Yeah, you do. People do have a lot. You have multiple guides. You don't just have one. And they're usually people that you just made a pact with to guide you through life that you knew at one time.
Okay. Yep. And I don't think I really have any other questions as far as that goes. The other thing that really interests me right now in my life is basically like my health or a health reading. And that could be something separate, since this one went pretty long, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you can always message me to do a health reading if you wanted to.
Yeah, it's just like I get slammed back to back with health issues. Like, for instance, bless you, baby doll. I had Lyme's disease and bless you, honey.
Bless you.
And this was back in 2011 when there was no information on Lyme's disease. The doctor said, if you see a bullseye rash, come in. If you don't, you're okay, which was a complete crock of poo-poo. And they don't treat it unless they see a bullseye rash. This was back in 2011 when I was sick. And I must have saw like 40 doctors. Are you okay? Here, use this tissue right here, this one. Oh, you are the cutest. Mwah. So it basically, like I crippled inside out, was being crippled from the inside out, and I didn't receive my first round of antibiotics till 8 months into my illness, and it caused me to backpedal a lot, like 1 foot in the grave type. I was pretty much like at the end of I was in so much pain. I had like my head was burning on fire. I was sleeping on ice packs. I couldn't walk. I was crawling to use the bathroom. I was sick for like 4 to 5 years. I had to get plasma sent to the house to do infusions, the IVIG Gamma Guard. That was after I found a Lyme's literate medical doctor to actually help me, because the regular mainstream medical doctors would not help somebody like me. They left me for dead. So thank God for the Lyme's literate medical doctor. But I was sick for 5 years, bedridden. Yeah. Basically for the first 5 years of that illness before my health reversed. And it's like in your chest, you feel like you have walking pneumonia. Imagine like having your brain burning on fire and like you have walking pneumonia and everything aches. I don't know. It's just, I can't even, it's the worst. It's the worst. And it's even worse when nobody believes you. They think you're a hypochondriac, because at the time I think I weighed like 100 pounds. And when doctors would look at me, they'd be like, oh, you're pretty, you're just attention seeking. Well, now I weigh 220. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It doesn't matter what my weight is and what they think I look like. And, like I'm the type of person where I don't want to be at the doctor's. I wait last minute to even go to a doctor. I ain't trying to be at no doctor's office. I most definitely am not trying to waste my time, attention seeking from a doctor, when if I was attention seeking, I would just go to work where I was working, because there's, plenty of people in bars at my job. If I was lonely, I would, talk to anybody, everybody. Mm-hmm. I'm not desperate for attention, and I'm most definitely not desperate, right now, because
mainstream doctors are like that, unfortunately. And I actually knew somebody, she's a very good medium, and she had Lyme disease. And there's actually there's a lot of out there that you can watch now that they have. There's like Monster Inside Us or something like that.
Yeah, the times have changed. Back when I was on Facebook, I was fighting very hard for the Lyme disease community. I was a big part of that. But like I said, just a couple years ago, I got kicked off the line for posting pro-Trump, things like that, because I felt like at the time that's, what our country needed. And I'm more conservative, and maybe it's just because I'm an older person. That's what happens. Like when you're younger, you're more liberal. When you're older, you're more, your thinking changes, you mature. So I got to a point in my life where I was agreeing politically with what I was hearing with Trump, and Trump is actually the one that brought me closer to God. That's a whole nother story, but yeah, he just strengthened my faith. And it's just like, how do you get kicked off? How do you get kicked off of Facebook for posting, posting something political, and nobody else liked it, or they flagged it or whatever? Oh, because they were trying to say fact check. This isn't true and that isn't true. So yeah, I got fact checked to death. I got fact checked to death with political stuff. And then I was like, that's it, I'm done. I don't even care about this platform anymore.
Well, lady, I hope that this was all helpful for you. And I hope it's giving you some direction on what you needed.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna most definitely look into some of the things that you suggested. So I appreciate your advice. Especially earlier, like I was kind of panicked with the whole heart palpitations thing. I wasn't sure what to do because, like I said, I did go out and buy all the sage oils and the sprays and the incense and the Salo Panto and the all sorts of stuff. And it just like, I kept getting, the past 5 nights have been pretty bad. My heart keeps palpitating, and I even use the rods to find out who kept doing, like, who's doing this. There's 3 spirits in my house right now, which is my dead mother-in-law, Paul, which is like a homeless person that used to squat here and hung around all the way up until the point that he died, and then the old owner of the building, Edwin or Irwin or something like that. What was the owner's name? Elwin, that's it. Yeah, so those are the 3 that hang around here. And Paul, I use the rods, and I'm like, Paul, are you doing this to me? Are you causing my heart to palpitate? And the rods crossed for yes. And I asked my stepmom, are you doing this? And she said no. So I'm pretty sure it's Paul that keeps doing this, and I don't know what his issue is, but I told him I'm not really interested in talking to him right now until after the funeral, because my stepmother, she's been holding on to the rods. Like, she just passed less than a week ago, and every time I pick up the rod, she's right there. She wants to talk to her son, which is my kid's father. She's always trying to communicate, so I don't want to give anybody my energy right now except for just my stepmother, because I feel like, out of respect, she's the one that deserves the when I'm putting energy into this, I feel like she's the one that deserves it until we can get to do the funeral thing, and then read her rites of passage so she can ascend up to heaven and that. And then I would be interested in focusing on other spirits after we do the funeral.
Right. Well, good luck at the funeral. I know the funerals are really hard to go to and handle and everything, but it seems like you've got a good connection with her. So I don't know. Hopefully the information I gave you is helpful.
Thank you. I'm most definitely going to look into some of the advice you told me.
All right. Sounds good. Keep me updated.
Yep. All right. Hey, thank you.
Have a good night.
Yep. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're waiting for what's it called? Melissa. I don't know what her screen name is, but Melissa Miller. And then okay, Robin, it's a minimum 25 unless you just have one question. But as far as mediumship, it's a minimum 25. So Melissa Miller is next, and then we'll do Robin, and then that's going to be it. I'm done. I can't do anymore. So, because I'm feeling a little drained here. It wasn't a meme, guys. It was just Google. It was just what Google said lemmings were. And that's what everybody's being with the Kylie case, so that's why. Yeah, I know. I'm supposed to teach, and I've done like a few classes, but it's okay. So, Melissa Miller, you're next. Where are you, Melissa? And if you guys leave, then just either we'll do it the next live or we will do a private reading. So, Melissa Miller. Melissa Miller. Melissa Miller. I don't know what the screen name is. I just know Melissa Miller. When you're ready, click the link. Hi, Chastity. Good to see you. I know I had to email StreamYards because I paid like last month and it should start everything over, and it didn't. It's saying I only have 5 hours left. Are you the one that sent me the 25? Mei-Ling, are you Melissa? Oh no, you're Missy. Okay. Yeah, you can reach me on my email for a private reading, yeah, or through Facebook or Instagram as well. Okay. Yeah, I know. I realized she popped on right when I asked you that. Sorry. I was trying to figure out who's who. So yeah, you can reach me through either Instagram or Facebook or my email for private reading. I got her, Michael. Good to see you, buddy. Okay. All right, Messy. Freaking getting a headache. I wonder who that is.
Hi.
Hey, Missy.
Hi.
Do you want me to call you Missy or Melissa?
Either way, I've always been
Okay.
called Missy. It's like a nickname.
Okay, I figured because you're on here as Missy, so I'm just making sure. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in, a little tentative. First time I've ever done anything like this. First time on StreamYard too.
Well, we're gonna. I always say it's good to let me pop your cherry, so to speak.
Right.
It's okay, Robin. I usually say that in private to people that say that they're new, but it's good to have you. Now, at least you feel comfortable enough to come on here. So
I've watched you. I've watched you for a while. So.
Oh, okay. How long?
I have to say it was probably around the Gabby Petito case when I first found you.
Oh, okay. So about a year.
Yeah. But what caught my attention was when you were at Tombstone.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that is really cool.
Yeah. I know. I need to go back there. I need to go back to Tombstone and try to figure out better lighting or a different way to do it. I don't know. So what are we doing for you today?
Intuitive or whatever comes to you. I feel like there's like things in my way, but
okay. So the two that I offer is intuitive guidance and then mediumship. So intuitive guidance is like I work off of questions and I channel the guidance from your guides, and mediumship is deceased loved one or pets. So either or.
I did send a picture of my loved one.
Okay. So you want to do that?
If you can, yes.
Okay.
If he doesn't come through, then whoever does, I'm open to listen.
I usually can get anybody. I mean, they are different in the way they connect. Some are stronger than others.
Okay.
But and you know how I work, right? Or do I need to explain it?
No, I've kind of been following.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because I usually have to tell people, past, present, future, yada yada yada. Just validate what I get and don't give me any extra information. How and yes and how if it makes sense, and then if it doesn't, just hang on to it.
Okay.
So you sent something to my email.
Yeah, I sent a picture. It's kind of an old photo, but I also know there's probably a few things between me and there.
I'm getting a headache. I don't know if it's connected to this person or not. Let's see. This is off of they don't have a clearer picture.
No, so far that's been the only one we've been able to find.
Okay, are you able to validate with this person?
Yes, mostly.
Okay.
I have more history than I have photos.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure but sometimes they talk about personal things. So
yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I'm usually able to get whoever I try to connect to, but do you know if the headache belongs to him?
It could, yes.
Okay. Because it got way stronger. I started getting it when you were on the backstage. And now
that makes sense.
Now that we pulled up this picture, it's worse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
And there's family history of that too.
Okay. I sometimes get it with certain passings too. Like it'll come in if people have heart issues sometimes, or blood pressure, or something, stroke, something with the head. I'll usually get it, but
it was stroke. Yes.
Yeah. It's funny that I said that then, because that's what I was thinking, because he was showing me the brain.
Yeah.
And then usually when they show me the brain, it's like telling me there's a blood clot or a stroke, which they're the same. That's basically what a stroke is, blood clot.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, we figured that out. You can chill out with the headache now. Sometimes they don't take it away. Like when I get it, it'll keep coming back, but that's just because I don't know if they know how to turn it off sometimes.
I've never tried to reach out to him before, so.
So I get the word stern. So I don't know. Sometimes he was stern, not all the time, but he says stern, like he was a stern person about things. Sometimes.
Yes, he was. Yes.
He's giving me anxiety too.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. See if I understand this. He's talking about saying, like, when he wanted things done a certain way, like they had to be done that way.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Almost like an OCD kind of feeling. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And he would redo it if it wasn't done right, or have it redone.
Yes. Very much so.
like that's not good enough. We have
I'll
to
just
fix
do
that.
it myself.
Yeah, I'll just do it myself.
Yep.
He's very particular and like picky about things.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why I haven't gotten this before ever, but I get the word great. So like a great like a great grandfather, a great uncle, like a great something.
Yes, great grandfather.
Okay. Great grandfather. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I've never had them say great before. They usually say grandfather figure or father figure, not great.
Yes.
So, okay.
That's how I relate to him, is my great grandpa.
Thanks, buddy.
I think he was nicer than he appeared.
He is. I mean, it just has like little ticks like we all do, little things. And that's what I think it was, is like he would seem like kind of an a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like once you got to know him, he wasn't like that. Like
Yeah.
he could be gentle and kind. And yes, he was stern about things and he did want things done a certain way. That was just his personality. But I mean, he was a good person. He doesn't come off as like a bad person. It's just his little things about his personality.
Yes.
Have you been working on your family tree? I've never had this symbol before. So, the symbol
yes, I have.
Okay, because the symbol, it's a new symbol for me, but I knew what it was. The symbol he gave me was a leaf.
Yes.
And like a leaf falling off.
Yes.
And it reminded me like of ancestry, and like you're doing like the leaves and stuff. And I've never had that symbol before. So he's the first one to use that with me.
He's our brick wall as far as the leaves go.
Okay. So you're like stuck on him. You can't go past him on that side of the family.
And I would love to be the one who could solve the mystery, but even though my time might be short, I would love to be the one who could do it.
Right.
I really think that he was an interesting, amazing person. And we know so much about him.
He comes off as like, it's like super smart, like almost almost genius IQ level is the way he comes across.
Yeah, he's very intelligent.
Yeah. And
he did so many things considering where he came from. And
yeah. I don't understand what this is. Well, because I see him in a white jacket. So white jacket represents to me as doctor or scientist or something like that is what I want to think of. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I want to go towards scientist, but I don't know if does that make sense? Because I've never had that either.
Well, in the tribal community, he would have been like the next in line to be what you call the healer or the shaman.
Okay, so he's Native American.
Yes.
But so why is he so okay, I guess that's symbolic for doctor then.
He passed as white. And
yeah, he doesn't look Native American. Like if you would have told me that, I would never have even known if he.
And he didn't tell people that he was Native. He was,
and that maybe that's why he's not showing it to me like that, which is weird because I connect really good to Native Americans, but he's showing me like a white jacket.
Yeah.
Or
he
white,
said it's
a white coat.
Man's world, and we have to learn to live in the white man's way. And then he married an Irish lady, which at that time was illegal.
Right. So the white coat
and he
is
got away with it.
Well, white coat is basically doctor, but not. Because I've never had that before.
Yeah.
So
he was very smart. Yes.
That's why the genius IQ level comes in. All right, I understand now. He's just giving me the white man's doctor.
Yes.
That's what I relate to, which is weird because he could have showed it to me a different way, and I would have understood it. But since you're saying that he, that's how he looked at life, then that would make sense why he would do it like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why the year 1972 is coming in. Does that make sense?
Yes. I think that was the year he passed.
Okay. Sometimes they give me years, and it's usually something significant that happens. It's, birth or passing or something. But all right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
talks about being a hard worker. I see him
Yes.
like building things, or he's showing it to me weird. Now it's like banging rocks together, and like, you know how you would put up a tent, like hitting the rock on the stake. I don't know what that's about, but I think it's his way of, now he's going into, okay, now that we've talked about a native, I'm going to show you this.
Mhm. He was
There,
he was in the Spanish-American War, and they did travel and set up tents, and so
okay, so that's probably what he's showing me then. Okay, that makes sense. And another thing he's showing me is there is a chief that is connected ancestrally to his side.
yes.
Because I just got the chills with that for some reason.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's your brick wall, or
I
one
believe
part,
so.
one
'Cause-
part of the brick wall.
Yes,
Um,
I believe so.
okay, because they're showing me the headdress and everything, which is telling me there's a chief.
Yes. He was rescued by two little girls from a neighbor. They were all together in a village, and there were different tribes, and there was an attack, and two little girls scooped up the kids, and there were only three of the boys that survived, and so they
Did he know
ran.
how to hunt? Did he know how to hunt too?
Yes,
So
he did.
I get bow and arrow with him.
Yes,
And also a rifle. There's two
yes,
things that come in, and I also get horseback.
yeah.
So
He
he's
was
taking
very
me
good
back
with
to that
horses.
time. He's taking me back
Yes.
to that time frame. Um,
Oh,
I
I
get
got goosebumps.
I get buffalo.
Yes.
And this is gonna sound really weird. And I don't know why I don't know why I'm getting this. There's a bloodline connecting Geronimo,
Probably. Yeah.
because I heard the word Geronimo, and I was like, no, that what?
I know.
So there's gotta be some kind of bloodline leading back to that
Okay. It's
tribe,
very
or that.
possible because his parents supposedly met on the Trail of Tears, and we were never able to figure out how one got there, how the one, it was supposed to be a boy and a girl and met on the Trail of Tears, but we never understood how the boy got there considering where he was supposed to be from.
Okay. Him? You're talking about him?
It
Or a
would be
different boy?
it would be his dad, actually.
Okay.
His real father, not his adopted father, his real father.
Okay. He's I don't know why he's showing me this. He's showing me there's a woman and she's carrying a baby. Now I don't know if this is his mom or his wife. I'm not sure, because it's a Native American woman. She's got long black hair, and she's you know how they used to like make those things to like hold the babies like in the front
Yeah.
that you would tie around and to
Yeah.
hold the babies there, like that's what I see her with. So
That might be his mom.
okay, it might be his mom carrying him then.
Yes.
Because what's weird is I see her. She looks tired.
Yeah.
Like
She would have
she
been.
was walking with him or something somewhere.
Yes.
And I get like blisters on her feet. Like I keep seeing that. He keeps showing me that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if wherever she had him at, it's almost like she sacrificed herself to get him wherever she needed to go. That's how it comes across. Or
Yes.
wherever she's traveling. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I get a lot of walking while
Yes.
carrying him.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know how this fits either. I've never done a reading like this before with someone way back then. So he's showing me all this new stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how it fits. So then there's also he's showing me a white man. but I feel like he's connected to him. I don't know if that's his dad, or was he have a white dad? Because he shows me a soldier, a white soldier that I
Yes.
feel like is his dad.
Yes. They were adopted by a general and traveled back east on a wagon train after their village was attacked.
Okay.
And they were adopted into that family. And there was 3 different families, but it was that one guy that.
And he was a white
seen.
soldier guy.
Yes,
Okay.
he was. Yep.
Okay. Then he had like did they wear blue?
Yes.
Because he's got
I
the
actually have.
blue.
I've seen pictures of him in uniform. Yeah.
Okay, the blue uniform on is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
With that.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
That's correct.
Wow, dude, you're giving me a history lesson.
I'm surprised it's actually working.
Me too.
That's really wild.
At least you can validate it.
Yeah.
So,
I've studied for years, and I know family members, and I've heard all the stories, and my grandfather told me stories.
yeah.
So
Okay. So with this family that adopted him, I keep getting that there was there 2 other children? He shows me
Yes.
3, but then he shows me
Yes.
2 other children,
Yes.
and one's a female, I think.
He had 2 brothers, but he was rescued by 2 girls.
Oh, so that might be because he keeps showing me. I don't know. He's confusing me because he's showing me that there's 3 of them, as in family, brother and sister.
Yes.
But then separately, he showed me a girl, and I don't know if he became friends with that girl or something, or he's just saying that he thanks that girl, or he looked at her like a sister. But there is a girl that he shows me that was very important to.
She saved his life. Yeah.
Yeah.
She carried him for many, many miles. Yes.
Okay.
She is like family.
Okay, so that would make sense why he's showing me 3, as in 2 brothers and him, and then this one's separate, but he looks at her like a sister.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. I was like, okay, what are you trying to tell me here?
Now, I don't know if they were actually related, but she did save his life. And
Yeah,
her
well,
and her
it's just
younger sister.
It feels like it's just a connection that he feels with her, like he looks at her like a sister.
Like he owed, he owed her his life.
Right.
Yeah.
And he also is showing me like wringing out clothes in the river or creek or wherever water.
Yes.
He just shows me wringing out clothes. I mean, I know that's obvious, but that's what he shows me.
Yeah.
And there's a dog. He shows me there was a dog that was running around. I don't know if it was the family's dog or when he was with the tribe, but there's a dog. He keeps showing me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Like, sometimes he shows me it with the village though, or because it's like I see the vision that I see is like all these teepees and stuff. And you know how sometimes when they're in a village, like they have the horses and then they have a couple dogs running around. Like that's what he shows me.
Yes.
This dog running around. But I don't know if he had a connection with the dog or what, but that's the vision he shows me. I don't know if it makes sense.
I think it was a family pet kind of deal.
Okay. It's like this dog is following him around everywhere. So
yes.
But he's showing me him as a boy. Like this is when he was younger.
They were like 4-legged babysitters.
Yeah. That's kind of what it comes across as. Okay, so I hear the word encampment, but I don't know what it means.
Yes. That makes sense.
Okay, how does that make sense? Because I don't know what it means.
I have, in my research, I've been able to narrow down 2 village massacres that they could have been in. One like at Washita, where would have been what is now Oklahoma, and one is up north, what would be, I want to say Idaho, maybe. It was way up to the north where the Blackfoot tribe lived. So
Okay.
it could have been either one of those, but yeah, they would have been encamped there, especially if it's the one in Oklahoma. They were encamped there at like a gathering of the different tribes, trying to figure out what they were going to do about what was happening to them, like politically, and what white man is doing. And so
Okay.
there was a gathering there of several tribes.
Okay. I just didn't know what the word encampment meant.
Yes, it was a big gathering.
Okay.
And it would have been more families than just his.
Okay. Okay, I don't know what this name is. This name feels like a name I know, but I don't know why I'm hearing it. They're like, just say it. So, John Henry. I don't know.
Oh.
That feels like a historical name, but I don't.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does?
Yes.
Because I was sitting here questioning.
No,
And they're
that
like,
makes
just
sense.
say it.
That validates things for me.
Okay, as long as it makes sense to you, that's good. Because I was like, I know that's like seems like a very historical name, but I didn't want to say it, and they're like, just say it. So
Yeah, it matches diaries I've read.
oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
He's actually pretty strong. He's giving so it matches the diaries you read. That's just a
Yes.
lesson. I'm always learning. Say what you get.
Yeah. I've prayed and asked him to come forward and talk to you. Because I didn't know how to hear him. I could feel him,
Yeah.
But I didn't. I'm deaf.
He's
I wear
got
hearing
quite
aids, so.
His energy is very matter of fact, but it's also very like he's kind.
Yes.
He's kind, but it's like because he was so precise in life. I feel like he's trying to be precise with this reading. He
Yes.
wants everything to come through right, I guess. He seems to have a lot of knowledge. Like
He
there's
did.
like I don't know how to explain it.
He was a wise old man.
Yeah, he's very, very like he knows a lot of stuff.
He's seen a lot too.
Yeah. Like he had quite a life.
Yes.
Do you know I would get 80s?
Oh, yeah. Because he lived to be in his 80s.
Okay.
And he was also in the war in the 1880s.
Okay. So it's a multiple meaning.
Yes.
That's why they gave me 8. That's why they said 80s. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Wow.
And he shows me like was his family around him prior to passing or around the time of his. I see him surrounded by people.
Yes.
It's like he's laying in a bed and then he's surrounded by people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And he's got, I hear grandkids. He's talking about grandkids, great grandkids, kids. Like he's like very family oriented. Because what he's talking about is being like loving his family, being very family oriented, and he knew that those people were around him. He felt loved and appreciated.
Yes, he had a lot of kids.
At the time of his, yeah, that's why I'm not getting a number because it's just like kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
And, like there's a lot. Like I feel like there's a lot around him.
Yeah, there was.
Almost like 10 is what I want to say.
Yes, he had 9 lived and he lost 1. Yes.
Okay, so 9. Correct. Okay, 10.
Wow.
There we go. So then he had 9 alive and 1 on the other side, so that would be 10. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. I was surprised I got that. See, he's very precise in what he's giving me.
He was a soldier, so everything about
Yeah.
everything was precision.
And I felt it was kind of hard identity-wise, right?
Yes.
Because he's Native American, but then he's raised by a white soldier. So it was
Yes.
very he struggled a lot with his identity. Like, what do
Yes,
I
he did.
identify with? Especially with the fact that the white man, you know, was this way and the natives were this way, and he didn't know who to identify with and who was right and who was wrong. Like that's how he comes across. And I'm getting chills with
Yes.
that. He struggled with that a lot.
Yes, he did. And he did later on tell his children about their heritage and told them to be proud of it.
Yeah.
But it took him a while to come to that.
Mm-hmm. Well, because I mean, it makes sense why he would kind of have an identity crisis, so to speak, is the words he's giving me, because he, you know, he was native on the inside, but he was raised by a white family and a white soldier, and the white soldier, you know, taught him the white ways. Although I feel like that soldier had compassion for the Native Americans.
He did, yes.
Like, I don't feel like he was like a bad guy or he hated him or anything. Like, I feel a lot of compassion from him to
that's correct.
Yeah.
He founded he started a farm out there to help people that he rescued, and my family being among them, and it kind of grew from there. But yeah,
he sounds like he calls him his dad.
Yeah.
Was very like he's thankful that he's the one that took him in.
Yes.
Because he says he taught me how to be a good man.
I believe that, yeah. That makes a lot of sense from what I've read about the man.
He is smiling at you because he appreciates the work that you have done on this historical part of his life and wanting to know more about your ancestry and history and all of that. Because he says, you know, it's important. It's important to know where you came from. And so I'm getting the chills with that. He's really shining down on you with that. I keep seeing
I was so
more
afraid
leaves.
that I was disrespecting him. I didn't want to disrespect him.
No, you're not disrespecting him. He understands why you're doing it. And anytime that you're led to do something, it's for a reason. So I see more leaves. So that means that you're going to get past that block, I feel, is what he's showing me. Because he shows me, like, because that's how I relate it to the ancestry thing is the leaves. The more leaves you get. So he's showing me a bunch of different leaves. So somehow I feel like you're going to break through that.
Okay.
And be able to get more leaves. I don't know if anything that I've given you tonight is going to be helpful in that, but hopefully. I hear the name Mary.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Lately. Okay, how does that fit?
Mary was his first wife, who was my grandfather's mom. And she died early when the kids were young.
I wanted to connect her to him.
That's my grandma.
Okay, I wanted to connect her to him as a significant other. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I usually don't see, this is what I talk about with spirits. They all work different with me, and sometimes they're very clear with what they say, and some, like, they give names like this, and sometimes they just don't. But I like when they do because it's very validating.
I have a picture of her too, but
okay. So Mary's with him, obviously. I also get the name George.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
They had a son. Yeah.
Named George?
Yes.
Okay.
And he had a brother named George as well.
Okay. So I guess he's just validating family members now. I also hear Jim.
Yeah, James.
James. I guess that's the same name now, but I hear it as Jim. Yeah. Okay. Wow, thank you for giving me names. I normally don't get them.
I've put a lot of hours into this. I know family I've never even gotten to meet. This
I'm
is
just
as
glad he's
close to
throwing out
meeting him as I
names
guess
because
I can
usually they
get.
don't throw out names for me. So I like when they do that because I'm always struggling. Like I'm like, why can't they all communicate like you? He's good. He's good at communicating for sure.
Oh, thank you. Tell him I said thank you.
I feel like he's got he had natural abilities.
Yes.
Not just healing abilities, but natural Native American gifted abilities.
Yes.
Spiritual abilities.
Yes. He did.
That I feel like for a while he was blocked off to because he
Yeah.
didn't know how to handle them.
Yes.
But I think eventually he gave into it. And
He did later on. Yeah.
When he learned to accept that side of his heritage, that's when
Yes.
he was able to, come into his own.
And he said that
what I'm hearing.
And my grandpa, his son would talk to me about dreams, and I've been a dreamer all my life too, and I see things in my dreams, and
a dream walker,
and that goes
is what I hear.
Yeah.
Dream
yes,
walker.
all the way back. Yep.
And I got chills with that.
He was very much one of those.
Okay. I get chills with that. And then I hear the name Rose as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. I'm blown away.
You and me both. Because now I'm hearing a name and I don't know why I'm hearing it. It doesn't make sense, but Sebastian. I don't know.
Actually, it kind of does make sense. It was part of his adopted family.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad I said it because I'm like, I had a dog named Sebastian, and I always think of like the Little Mermaid with Sebastian, and so
yeah,
yeah,
he had a part of his adopted family. There's a Sebastian that would have been like a brother to him.
Okay, thank God that makes sense. Because when I say weird names like that, I don't know if they're gonna fit. And got it. Okay. Wow. Okay, on the other side, he shows me he's standing there and he is surrounded by a lot of people, but he's surrounded by I see natives in headdresses surrounding him.
Yes.
He feels like someone important on the other side, actually.
He was important here too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that's carried on to the other side, and that's why he can communicate so clearly with me, because he's almost like
he would have been like the son of the chief at in his village.
Right. So that's why I keep getting chief, and so maybe that's his dad, his real dad that's with him. But I feel like he's got an important job over there. Like that's why he can communicate so easy with me. It's almost like he's a guide or something like that.
That would kind of make sense.
Yeah.
That would have been part of his role had he stayed with the tribe.
Yeah, and that's why I think he's so clear. Because, I mean, he just knows how to communicate.
Yeah. And I know like my own experiences with the animals and stuff, I kind of have to attribute to him, I think.
And his energy is so strong that it's giving me anxiety. And every time I hit on something, I get the chills. So he's got a very, very strong, prominent energy. And he knows how to use it without being overpowering. And again, he comes through very clearly, which is rare and I appreciate. But he, like I said, he was very important here, but he's also very important on the other side. Like he has, I swear, it's almost like he's a guide. Like maybe one of your guides.
Yeah, that very well.
And maybe
could
that's
be,
why you have such a strong connection with him.
And I never got to meet him, but
right. Which we don't, our guides, we usually don't, but we know them before we ever come to Earth, right?
Right.
So there's something about that. Also, I connect really strongly with Native American anyways, and that might be another reason. But I'm trying to see if there's anything else he's giving, because he's given a lot.
Does he give anything about horses?
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, but then I didn't say it again because I was saying horses and I was seeing the dogs. But we already talked about the horses, so I didn't know if there was another thing with that.
I was just curious because his nickname was Horse. They called
Okay,
him
that would
Horse.
be why I was seeing that, because I saw the dog and then I was seeing horses, and I was going to ask you,
Yes.
but then we already talked about him riding horses, so I didn't know if it was separate.
And
So
I
that
raised
makes sense
horses
because,
years
but
ago.
it was like I was seeing a white horse standing there.
Yes.
But then this dog was running the hell around, So
Yep.
then I was like, but we
And
already
that
talked
may
about
very
him
well been
riding
what
them,
he
so I didn't know
saw.
why he was. I didn't know if he was just showing me what was in the village, or
That
it
yeah,
kind of
that
came
very
into
well, that makes a lot of sense. I've seen pictures of what I
the
think
white
might have
horse.
been where he was, and there was a white horse in his what would have been his village. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna ask you if he had a specific horse that he was really close to, or unless it's just the nickname thing. But I keep seeing this white horse, and he's like standing next to it on the other side.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
And he had a couple, but there was a white one that was pretty special to him.
Okay. Yeah, that's what he's coming across with it being. But he had a connection to animals anyways. It
Yes.
feels like not only to people and healing them, but also to animals. Like he had that kind of connection and energy to them. I don't know if he ever like healed a bird, but he shows me like a sick bird or a broken wing bird, something with the bird that he helped rehabilitate. That's what he shows me. I don't know if it's symbolic for just him healing birds, or healing animals, but that's what he shows me.
No, that makes sense because my grandfather told me that story.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I've actually heard that before.
He literally brought this bird back to life.
That. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what he shows me, because he shows me it in his hand and it's sick, and
Yes.
all of a sudden he goes like this and it flies off.
Yep.
So he literally brought the thing back to life.
And my grandpa told me that when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was one of the stories that, he would tell us about his dad.
Oh, cool. So he talks about you and him, like you having some of the same gifts he has, or he had. You're a healer. He says it's been passed down. It runs in the genes.
Yes.
And that's also why you sense spirit. Like you have his spiritual gifts.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. More so with animals, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was getting to the animal part, but you have his gifts in feeling spirit, sensing spirit, but also the healing part, especially with animals. You've got a lot of green. I don't usually see auras, but he shows me green around you, which is my symbol for healing. So I don't know if you've got a lot of green in your aura or what, but I get green and pink a lot around you, which is compassion and healing.
Yes.
Which normally I don't see. Seriously? Sorry. He likes bottles. I don't even know where he gets them from. Normally I don't see that, but
that's
I'm seeing it with
probably
you.
actually pretty accurate, though.
Yeah. Well, he's showing me that around you. So whether it's symbolic to just say you have a lot of compassion and healing abilities, or it's just that's actually in your aura. He just wanted you to know that. He says you're special.
Oh.
So he's he reverted, like he's showing me him younger. Like I'd say about 20s. And he was actually very handsome.
He was.
But he shows me a native dress.
Yes.
So I don't know if he ever wore the native dress here or if it's just on the other side. He's getting into who he really was on the other side.
Yeah. I don't know if he was allowed to do that while he was here. He may not have been able to acknowledge it till he was there.
Yeah. So he's showing me him in native dress, and he's about 20 something. Very handsome. His hair's grown out actually on the other side. He does look more native on the other side. I don't know why he's showing me that way. The balls are so loud I can't handle it, sorry. So that's how he's showing me him. And he's blowing a kiss and waving goodbye and saying, thank you. He wants to say thank you. Thank you for this time. And he knew it was important to you. So
Yes.
I think it was an amazing reading. I hope it was helpful for you. I don't know if it broke any blocks, but hopefully it did.
It actually kind of did, I think.
Okay, good.
Yes. It makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Based on what I know historically and what he's saying, yeah.
Okay, cool. You'll have to keep me updated about this now.
And the Geronimo thing makes total sense.
Oh, wow.
I was actually on the right path, and I think he kind of validated that. So thank you for that.
Man, thank him. Yeah, I when I heard that, I was like, wait, no.
Because I wouldn't have thought of that because it's too far south for what my family was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But his family would have been there. Geronimo's family would have been at the same place my grandpa was. So that's absolutely right up the alley. That's correct.
Okay, great. And then the John Henry, you said there was diaries with that name in there?
Yes.
Okay.
And he had a rifle that he named after a friend he was in the military with, John Henry.
Oh, okay.
And so there's like 3 different meanings for John Henry, but yes.
And that's why he was showing me the rifle too. Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah. And he was a marksman and a horseman and the whole 9 yards. So.
Yeah, he was showing me all of that stuff.
But John Henry was just like, I didn't think it,
I didn't want to say it. When I get stuff like that, like I question it because I know that it's like, a historical name and I don't expect to get it, but it made sense.
He was raised though in an area where, they hung out with like the president and people weren't supposed to know they were native, and he was like a servant in this guy's house. And then he rode with this guy and went hunting with the Roosevelts and stuff. So his heritage had to be kept secret.
Yeah, that's where the identity crisis and all that comes in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so for him to be able to express that later on, and tell his kids who they were and to be proud of it, that took a lot.
Yeah. I think it just came to the realization, that that's who he was. And I actually think that the guy that stepped in as his dad eventually helped him with that. Like he didn't try to take his heritage away from him.
Exactly.
He wasn't against who he was, for a white man. A lot of white men were, but he wasn't like that. He's like, it kind of reminds me of Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
And
kind of,
like how the white guy was into the village and like they took him in and he didn't think he was white, but he liked the Native Americans. He didn't think anything bad about him. Like that's kind of like how it feels. Like he wanted to know and all that. So Shazam wants to know if she can cut this off and make a video out of it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
put it on the it'll be like a separate video of just this reading on my YouTube, if that's
Thank
okay.
you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And then that way you can keep it. Just
Yeah, I'd love
download
that.
it or whatever.
I'm pretty sure once they get over the fact that I talked to someone who communicates with spirits, then maybe they'll appreciate it.
Well, there's so much validation. I mean, you really can't deny all the validation.
Yeah. And I talk to spirits all the time, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like he said, you have you're gifted in that way. He was too.
Yeah,
So,
I think he was.
Shazam wants you to come back. What do you want What do you want her to come back for?
I
don't
have
know.
other family members we could talk to.
Okay. They're wanting you to come back, I guess.
And a lot of history.
They really liked this one. So, cool. Yay, I'm glad it turned out so well. I wasn't really sure how that was going to turn out, but because of who he is, he was just very clear, with everything. So,
He was pretty clear when he was here too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on and everything. Well, everybody wants you to come back, so we'll have to do that. Maybe we'll plan it or something. If you reach out through my email or something, and we'll plan it.
Oh, thank you. Anytime.
Okay, sounds good.
Have a good night. Rachel.
You're welcome.
You too.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I need to grab this. What are you getting into shit? All right, we got to do Robin, and then we're done for the night because my dogs are gonna want to start coming out. If you're ready, if you want to come on tonight, Robin, you're all good. You're set. So, I think it was Robin. Do I have the name right? I have to go back up here and look. See what I mean by names, though? It all depends on the spirit. Because I can get them. It just depends on if they're given to me. And thank you guys for the extra donations. I appreciate it. I'm looking. Was it Robin? Where'd she go? Yeah. Robin Severin. Follow the link. Follow the link it's pinned to the top and click that link. Violet, quit. You guys are back? But this will be the last one because I'm going to have to let my dogs out. And I'm surprised they're not making noise right now. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they wait just a little bit longer. Yep. Okay, there's Robin. All right. Dude, cat, get your butt out of the way. No, she's messing with Rose over here. She loves her every time she sees her. Yeah, she's a tortie and her tail is orange. She was a garage cat. I kept her and her two siblings. Okay. All right. Robin's it. Hello?
Hi, can you hear
Where are
me?
you getting these bottles at? 1 second. Where are you getting these bottles at? I don't know where he's getting them at. Okay, I'm back. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Getting tired.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're all good. I tend to give long readings, so. What are we doing tonight?
Mediumship.
Okay. And you know how I work and everything, right? Past, present, future.
Oh, yes.
Things can be symbolic, have multiple meanings. Sometimes, they'll use my references or experiences, try to explain what they're trying to say. I just need you to validate, if it makes sense, yes, and how it makes sense. And if it doesn't, just hang on to it.
Okay.
So do you have a picture you can send me, or?
Well, I was just thinking more of anyone who may be coming through a little stronger than another. I have a lot of people who have passed, so.
That's the that's the problem when we start bringing whoever through, is I'll get a bunch, and so it'll be like a little bit from each person. If that, I think when we did Michael's, he had 5 people come through, and it was just a little from each. So sometimes it's hard to tell the difference in energies.
Okay.
When we do that. I mean, I can do it. It's not my strong point, because that's not how I usually connect. I usually dial direct. But
What?
we
I mean,
can
I guess
definitely do
it's
that.
whoever you feel strongest connection to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They'll all come forward.
Oh, okay. I wasn't understanding that. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's like because my friend Mike, when he came on, he's the soldier's reading that I did. And he was like, oh, just whoever comes through. And we had like 5 people come through.
Well, I
So
guess since you are saying the name Mike, we can probably go with that because I'm feeling like that's who I should be going with now.
maybe that's why I thought of him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. And that doesn't mean others won't pop in, but
Okay.
we'll see. If you have a picture, it would help the energy more. If you don't, I'll just work off the name.
Yeah, I can get a picture.
Okay.
I might have to just put the app down really quick.
If it's too much, then it's okay. I'll just try to get off a.
I'm just trying to figure out how to do it.
Oh, I lost her. She'll be back. She's back.
I didn't know it was going to close me out.
That's okay. You're all good.
So I didn't get a picture. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I don't know why I'm getting this. So he's showing me like him with a backpack on.
Okay.
I don't know if and he's walking, so I don't know if he to. I mean, that could be for a couple of reasons. It could be that, he went somewhere and took a backpack of clothing. He went on a trip. Something with school. I don't really know. I just see him walking with a backpack on. Or he
Not
carried
really
a
sure
backpack
how
with
that
him.
fits in.
Huh? Okay. I don't know either.
Okay.
And maybe he had one with him sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just trying to. It's a little bit harder without a picture for me, but I get them
Let me
usually.
see if I can, if I go out of here, I'll just come right back in. It's
Okay.
gentleheartreadings@hotmail.com,
You
right?
can do it at the psychicsleuth at Gmail.
psychicsleuth@gmail.com?
Yeah, the psychicsleuth at gmail.com.
Does. Okay. I'll be right back.
Thank you. Just because I'm struggling with him, bringing him in, it would help. I think you're still here.
Yeah, I hear you.
I know I do feel very nauseous all of a sudden.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just feel like super nauseous. So usually with nausea, it's something with my stomach as well, or if the person experienced nausea, if I get things, it's usually an ailment or a symptom or something like that.
Okay, let's see. All right, let's see if I can send this to you. I got one. I'm sorry. I wish I
No,
knew
it's okay.
beforehand.
I just want to be able to bring him in stronger. I'm just struggling a little bit with him.
That's okay.
Just sometimes a picture will help that. And I just don't know if I have the energy to deal with a bunch of people coming through at once right now.
Oh, okay. All right, I did send it over, so just let me know if that works.
I don't have it yet.
Okay.
You did the psychic sleuth at Gmail?
Yeah, let me do it again just in case. All right, I just resent it again. Did you get anything?
Nope.
Hmm.
And you're sending it to thepsychicsleuth@gmail.com, right?
Yes.
All one word, because I don't have it. I don't know why. This is the server's being slow. I don't want it to be a pain. I'll just try to.
No, you're not being a pain. I just sent you a message that might be easier for you to do. I'm not sure.
Message on where? Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Hope I get the right person. I just need not maps, need images. Does he have like glass? Is he the one with glasses? Like sunglasses on his hat? That's the only one that's popping up. And then there's another one with sunglasses on his head. Oh, well, Robin went. I dropped her off.
I'm back.
Okay. I don't know if is he the one with the hat with the glasses on his head?
Yes.
Okay. So that him with the backpack keeps coming in, and I'm wondering if it has to do with being like outdoorsy or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Okay. Yeah. Because remember, things are like symbolic and they kind of fit. Like that's what I would think of, like if I'm going hiking, I take a backpack, kind of outdoorsy.
Okay. Yeah, he
Does
was
that
a
make sense?
hunter. Yeah, he
Okay.
was a hunter, so.
Okay, so he would probably take a backpack when he went hunting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, was there a time when he was missing for a moment?
So I don't know actually a lot of the details about that day.
Okay. Because I feel like he was missing or unaccounted for a certain amount of time.
Okay. I mean, I can see that.
The way that it comes across. He keeps showing me like an outdoor area. So I don't know if he was, maybe that's why he was showing me with the backpack. Did something happen when he was like out hunting or walking or hiking or like outdoors?
No. Not while he was like hunting or anything.
Well, he was like because I keep seeing like a woodsy area.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's showing me that because like that's where he would go, or if there's like he was at a woodsy area that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I would say it was probably a woodsy area where he was at.
Okay. Oh, great.
I'm sorry.
I was worried about that. He keeps taking me to. It's like I can't breathe all of a sudden.
Okay.
Like my chest feels really heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So I can usually get that with like anything that's gonna make it hard to breathe. But he keeps showing me this area. I don't know why he keeps showing it to me. But it is like a woodsy type area. It feels like there's a river, a creek of some kind, or some type of water source.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's just a place that he liked or if he was there that day or what. Because I feel like, again, like I'm in a woodsy area.
Okay. Would it help you if I told you what happened and maybe you get more?
No, if you just validate if what I'm getting.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not too familiar with the area. It is a little further from me. I've never like occupied the area before, so I actually never went to where he passed away. So,
But was he outdoors?
yes, he was outdoors.
Okay. Because this feels like some sort of accident or something that
Yes,
happened
it was.
outdoors in an area I feel like
And like,
water's involved. That might be why he's showing me the water.
I don't think water was involved, but I mean, it could be near water. I'm not sure.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'd be curious if you Google the area, if there's wood, if it's woodsy and there's either a river or creek or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely, I would say it's woodsy. Like where we are, it's kind of woodsy from here and up. I mean, where he was.
That's what he keeps showing me. And I don't know if I'm misunderstanding what he's trying to say, because sometimes they will repeat things if I'm not understanding why they're showing me what they're showing me.
Okay.
It's either if I'm not understanding or it's not getting validated. It's one of the two, usually when they repeat stuff like that.
Okay. Well, he was in an accident. I can validate that for you.
Yeah, because I was getting accident, but like I'm not at home and
No.
like it's a woodsy area, but he's not showing me, and now my chest is hurting. So there's something with the chest area.
Okay. I mean, he may have heard that. Yeah.
I don't know if there's some kind of what do you call it? There's something with the chest that's taking my air away, or it's causing me pain.
I know he mentioned he used to mention like his lungs, like he had a problem with his lungs like before like he passed
Yeah,
away.
that could be it, because it can be anything in their life. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, that would make sense.
Okay. Also, I feel like I don't know what this. Okay, I don't know what this is. I'm trying to figure out more about the accident just for validation purposes.
Okay.
I feel like I'm flying through the air.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay. Yeah, he shows me he's flying through the air, which is really odd. But he comes across as very active and outdoorsy.
Yeah, definitely.
He's like always on the go, always doing something. I feel like he liked the adrenaline of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
He's kind of an adrenaline junkie, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
Certain things.
He liked to go fast or live life in the fast lane. And I don't know, by going fast, like he liked to drive fast or.
Well, he was in a car accident, so.
Okay. But was he ejected?
That's what I think he was.
Because that's why I feel like I'm flying through the air.
Right.
And
So
I couldn't make sense of it because I haven't done a lot of ones where I've been ejected. So I was trying to figure out if he was in a car or on something else. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and he was in a little geo tracker, like that you would take through the woods kind of thing. He always drove that thing around, even though it wasn't safe.
Okay, so it's kind of like a car, but it's kind of like a motorcycle type thing, or it's like a cross between the two. I don't know what a geo tracker is.
Oh no, it's like a little tiny Jeep. Like it's ridiculous looking, but
all right.
Okay, it maneuvers.
So that would make sense then. Okay, and it would also make sense why I kept hearing like I kept hearing motors.
Yeah,
like revving motors. Okay.
So he was speeding?
Huh? Yeah, he's talking about he liked to go fast.
So I'm wondering,
but I keep seeing like a log.
A log?
Yeah, like the way I keep seeing it is it's a log or a piece of wood that the front tires hit. That's what he keeps showing it to. That's what he keeps showing me anyways.
Okay.
That caused, that besides him going fast. Like I get it, it's weird because he shows me there's like a curve or a turn he was taking.
Yes.
And then so I get the curve or turn, and then I get there's some kind of either piece of wood or rock. They're showing it to me like as a log or something that looks like a log.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if one of the wheels hit it. Besides the fact that I think he took the corner of the turn too fast. He talks about going too fast or speeding or liking to drive fast. So it's almost like he took that corner too fast, but then his wheel hit something. I don't know if it's a log or rock. What I see it as a log or a stick or something like that. And it's like I see his tire hit it.
Yeah, because we're always like wondering like what happened, like how did this happen?
That's what he showed me. That's what he shows me. He was going fast, and then I get a curve, or it's either a curve or a turn. But he shows it to me like I'm turning, and then like a wheel hits something.
Okay.
In the curve. So I don't know, maybe he went off the road a little bit and it hit something that was like on the side of the trail or whatever.
I think he like hit like a few things like before he actually had impact. Like he hit a few things.
That makes sense because that's what I'm seeing. Like
I think he hit a mailbox and like I don't know. I was reading over the police report. Like there was a few things that he impacted before he actually his final impact.
Right. Well, it was weird because like I said, he was going fast. He shows me like a turn, or it's either he was making a turn or he was going a curve. I keep getting
there was
kind of a curve. And
like,
then it's like my wheel hit something, and then I kind of lose control and I can't gain control again. But I also get something with the brakes.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if like his brakes weren't working as good to where he couldn't gain control or something like that. But I see him he's doing that, like trying to get the brakes to work better,
Trying to
or
like correct himself or something.
yeah, and I don't know if it's like something happened when he first hit whatever and it kind of messed up the car. I don't know.
And
Um,
that's actually interesting that you say that because I come from like a big family. So
uh-huh.
all of us were like, why was there no like brake marks in the street? Like, why was there none of that? Like, even after he like hit stuff before.
Did they ever check out this like vehicle?
I'm not, I mean, I would imagine they did, but I don't think they ever came back with anything.
Because it's weird. It's like I see him keep trying to hit the brakes, but like they're not working as good as they should. Or I also get there's something leaking, but I don't know if that's like from hitting something and
I
it
just
caused
thought of
the
that in my
leak.
mind too. I
Yeah,
just,
because I'm
yeah.
seeing he's showing me like a trail of like leaks or drips or of something. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
saw that
kind of
same
fluid.
thing in my head.
Right. So I don't know if it's like brake fluid or
Right. Like
um,
from hitting something or,
yeah.
right.
And then it's like then I see him like trying to hit the brakes and they won't, like it's not working like it should. That's what it keeps showing me anyways.
Okay.
And the missing, I think, it wasn't missing for a long period of time, but I feel like he was unaccounted for a certain period of time.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if
again,
that was maybe before the accident or something, like no one could get a hold of him. I don't know if
right.
it was
I think you're right about that. I don't think his wife, my sister-in-law, could get in touch with him for a while. And so I know she was expecting him home like around dinner time.
Mhm.
And I think she was trying to figure it out, but then police ended up coming to the house and like announcing what
Okay,
happened.
so she didn't know where he was at the time.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Because I got
Yeah.
the word missing and so it was like confusing me, but it wasn't like he was missing like a day or something. It was like he was missing a
No.
few hours where like no one heard from him is the way it
Right.
came across. All right. And that's probably why I was feeling nauseous because of the kind of accident it was. And the front of my throat is hurting again.
Well,
Or my neck. So
I mean, you could be feeling nauseous for other reasons too.
Yeah,
He was also drinking.
I was gonna say that. That was the next thing I was gonna ask you if he was
Yeah.
inebriated for this.
Yes, he was.
That was my next question. Because I didn't feel like I was sober.
No.
It says stupid mistake.
Is that what he said?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knows he shouldn't have drove. He says, "You know how men are. We feel invincible."
I know how he is. Yes.
Yeah. And I think he had that personality. Like nothing would happen to him. So he wasn't really scared of anything.
Absolutely. Yes.
But the front
Just
of my
like
throat
my
hurts.
son.
So I don't know if that something happened in the accident with his neck or throat.
Okay.
But it's weird because I was feeling that same thing earlier.
Mm.
Which if he was ejected, I could see why his neck or throat area would be. Yeah, that was the next thing I was gonna ask you about the drinking, or if he was drinking, because I feel like prior to, I think he drank a lot though.
Yeah, his blood alcohol level was like probably close to death level, actually.
But I mean, and like he drank a lot. Period. He drank a lot that
Period.
day. But I think he drank a lot.
Yes, he
as a
did.
person.
Yes, that's
Almost like
something
alcoholic.
He was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it runs in my family.
Now he's holding a baby boy.
Oh.
So I don't know if this is one that's been born or is yet to be born.
Okay.
Spirit loves to tell me that there's going to be a pregnancy or something, but it's either one that's on the other side that hasn't been born yet.
Okay.
He has a son, or
he doesn't have a son.
It was born or it was not born. Like there was a miscarriage. And that could be anybody in the family. It doesn't necessarily have to be but I want to connect it to his wife.
Oh.
So I don't know if there's a baby that maybe you don't know about, or
Right.
or is something in the future with her, like she meets somebody else and has a baby,
Okay.
or they were trying to have a baby. There's something I want to connect it to his wife,
Okay.
for some
I
reason.
know that she had told me like I think they wanted to maybe try for a boy because they had 2 girls.
Okay, so maybe they were trying at the time that he passed.
And his last post on Facebook was like, I love my kids so much, or I love my girls so much, and I wish I could have more, but I'm an old fart.
Gotcha. Okay, so it could just be that they just
Right.
wanted that. So he wants to hand a rose to wife.
Okay.
I keep hearing I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I effed up. I effed up.
Yeah.
Give me this. So he's sorry that she has to be a single mom.
Yeah.
He says that he's there with the kids. Like he shows me, like he flashes me through their life. Like he'll be there, and he knows it's not the same. But he just wants her to know that he will be there in spirit. And
Yeah, I really try to like help whenever I can, and just
right,
I
like
talk to her all the
I
time.
feel like she feels overwhelmed.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And she's really struggled with it. There's a couple references here. So there's a reference to I keep seeing a gravestone, and I don't know if it's symbolic or not.
Okay.
I also hear the word memorial. So that comes in like usually if there's something done like a memorial of him, it can be at the crash site, it can be anywhere.
So I know he had like an award given to him at work, like after he passed away and stuff. He was part of like the Freemasons, so they did like a whole ceremony for him.
Okay, so that might be the memorial that he's talking about. It usually comes across if like, there's anything done in their name, or for them. But was there anything put at the crash site? Because I keep going back to the crash site for some reason, or by there.
I mean, there might be. I would imagine there was. Like I said, I don't find comfort in like going there.
Yeah.
So I never
I know.
did go.
I think some people do that for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But for spirit, they kind of don't like us because it's kind of like a reminder of what happened to them there. But I know a lot of times they do that because I keep wanting to put a cross at the crash site. So I don't know if that was done by somebody or not.
Well, actually, where he had crashed, like the final impact was into a tree, I believe, and it happened to be on a pastor's lawn.
Oh.
And the pastor was praying over him as he was like, I guess, leaving.
Oh, I just got the chills. Oh, so that's why I'm getting the cross, because cross is symbolic usually of a church or something for me.
Yeah, so that was like, yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, that kind of just blew me away. I didn't really expect that.
Yeah, that blew me away too when I heard that.
Because I was just wanting to put a cross there, but I guess it's just because of what it symbolizes. Oh, wow. I wonder if he put any. I wonder if he put anything on that tree though,
Right. I mean,
like a
it
ribbon or something. So I hear the words, I'll be there in her dreams. So I don't know if she's had a dream about him.
yes.
She's had a dream about him?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're always talking about dreams because I have them usually. Sometimes when a family member passes away, they come and visit me, but she gets them from my brother sometimes, but he's never come to me in my dream.
Okay. So yeah, I wanted to put it for his wife. So
Yes.
okay. That makes sense. So that's just a validation that
Okay,
he is.
I'll relay that to her.
Okay. For some reason, that's the easiest way. And it's almost like he feels so bad for what happened. Like
Mm-hmm.
when they have their life review and they go back on everything, they realize the mistakes that they made. And so he sees all that now. And it's like he's just talking about how just like stupid it was and how like he sees it like that. But he says he lived his life on the edge for a while. And he talks about how he wasn't that great of a husband sometimes because of his alcoholism.
Yeah.
So he talks about wishing that he would have made better memories and like been a better person to her. If that makes sense. When it came to his drinking.
Right.
Like he was a good person. It's just, what alcoholism and alcohol does to people. So that's
I saw a change. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what he's apologizing for, because it was he doesn't want to be remembered by that. But he knows that was a big part of who he was here. You know what I mean? But he does show me like there was a time when he didn't drink so much.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing laughing, like with him and his wife laughing. And like he's talking about like they had good times, they had laughs, and he wants her to remember those. Okay. And he says even with you, like he wants you to remember how he really was.
Oh, I do.
Like he keeps taking me back to like the past, like before he was, into the drinking and whatnot, and the type of person he was. Did he play video games, or someone play video games?
I don't think he did often, no, if at all. Maybe when he was a kid.
I keep seeing someone playing video games.
There's a lot of that in my house.
Okay. Do you have sons or something that play?
I have my son who's 5. I have a stepson who's 10, and their father who plays video games as well.
Okay. I mean, that's just to validate he knows what's going on there.
Okay.
Because I felt like it was a male playing video games. So I was like, did he do it? I don't know why he brought that up, but I guess it's just to let you know he's around.
Okay. Yeah, I do wonder if he's around, just because normally I feel like I can tell, but I haven't been able to tell with him.
It's harder with their own loved ones. Do you have a picture up of him?
In my house?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
I keep seeing this. Jesus, really? Hold on a second.
It scared me.
Someone just knocked down the lamp. So I have to pick it up because now I'm in the dark.
Okay.
Sorry. Did you break it or what? Fudge sticks. There we go. Did you leave shit alone? Get out of there. You're annoying. Sorry about that. I couldn't really do a reading in the dark.
Oh, that's okay.
What was I talking about?
A picture.
Picture. Yeah, he keeps showing me a picture of him in your house. It's in a specific place, and I feel like I don't know if you talk to it or look at it, or if
I
it's
look
just in
at
a
it.
place where it's just there. He just keeps showing me that, like in a frame.
Yes, it's in a frame. I have it in my living room, and I do look at it all the time.
I also keep getting this. You know how people have like the in memory of on their car, like a sticker.
Yeah.
I don't know if someone's thought about doing that or if they have done it, but I keep seeing it. Keep seeing one of those stickers.
I don't know anybody who does have one of
That's
those.
bizarre. I'm wondering if his wife's thought about it, because even if it's just a thought, they'll
They
talk
know.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if she's
Thinking about it.
yes, or someone is, because unless it's symbolic for something else,
Okay.
because it's like written out like in loving memory, and then
Well, my dad had built a birdhouse, and where his tombstone, where he's like buried, there's a fence line and then a wooded area. So he had put the birdhouse there, and there on the post is in loving memory with his picture. It's
okay, that
and
makes sense then, and that's why I was seeing the gravestone then earlier.
yeah, I was actually looking at the pictures today.
Okay, so that's why I was picking up the gravestone, because I was picking that up, but I don't know, it kind of went away, and then now it makes sense why that's coming in again. Okay, so he's just aware of the in loving memory thing. I guess that they just show me that because that's my symbol for an in loving memory thing.
Okay.
And that's why he would show me the grave.
Yeah.
Or the headstone. Okay, makes sense. I don't know if this name makes sense. If it doesn't make sense for you, then I'm picking it up for another reason. But I hear the name Tina.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Okay.
about that name.
I just say them because sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it's just someone else
Okay.
poking through. I mean, it could be a friend or something like that. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that name doesn't ring a bell for me.
Usually first or middle when I get names, and they can be just anybody. Just, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you might come across it at some point. If you do, just let me know.
Yeah, I could ask his wife. Does he have anything to say, like, about family or to family?
I knocked the bottle off. So he is. Well, I mean, I get like the big thing with him is I'm sorry. Okay, because he feels like that his passing was a big dent, like not only in his family with
Yeah.
his wife and kids, but also in your family. Like it left like a hole or a dent, so to speak. And he says in the manner in which that it happened and that it could have been prevented, that's why he's so sorry that he left in the way that he did.
Yeah.
And I hear the words I'm okay. So I don't know if someone's wondered if he's okay on the other side.
Okay.
But it's almost like he's answering, I'm okay.
Okay.
Also, he's releasing doves to me, which tells me he's at peace. That's usually my sign for peace, unless there's another meaning with it. Sometimes there is. And did he used to like pat or rub like your kid's head? Like, hey buddy. I don't know how else to explain it. Or I don't know if he did like this, like, what's up,
It
kid?
could be. Probably.
Or hey buddy, and like rub his head like that.
I don't
Messing
really
with his
have.
hair.
Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Okay, because that's what I don't know why he's showing me that.
Has my son ever seen him before? Like, not long after he passed?
The younger one,
My son, yeah.
the younger son, the
Yeah.
youngest. Yes.
Because he used to talk about him a lot after he passed, and like nonstop.
Yeah.
And he was really young.
Yeah. So kids have the ability to sense and see spirit more than we do because they
Yeah.
are very dude, seriously? They are very like the world hasn't tainted them. They're very open. They just come from the other side. They're
Yeah.
very innocent. So yes, and I feel like yes, he has seen him.
I thought so.
And like when you were saying that, I was getting yes right away, but so are you his sister?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it's like I hear I love you, sister, or I love you, sis.
I love you too, Mike.
And I hear I miss you.
I miss you too, Shorty.
And there's something about handwriting, his handwriting. I don't know if there's a note that you have or a letter or something. I don't know. I just keep seeing his handwriting.
I don't have anything with his
I don't know
handwriting.
if it's you or the wife.
Okay.
But it might just be like a little note. I just keep seeing his handwriting on something.
Okay.
Do you talk to him?
Not out
Sometimes?
loud.
No, it doesn't have to be out loud in your head.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Because he lets you know that he hears you.
Okay.
That's what I'm asking, because it's almost like he's telling me, let her know that I hear her. Because I think sometimes you think you're crazy for talking to him.
Yeah, sometimes I do.
But he's there. He hears you. And he even answers back. So those little thoughts that pop in your head that are kind of random after you've said something to him.
I'll pay more attention.
Yes. Pay more attention to those thoughts that pop in because he hears you.
Okay.
Now, either you're the older sister or you just like to act like the older sister.
So I come from a family with 3 older brothers. I'm the oldest girl, and then I have 2 younger sisters.
Okay, because I heard big sis.
Yeah, so I'm the oldest girl.
Okay, that would make sense then. I'm trying to see. It looks like there's some kind of I feel like there's some kind of newness that's going to take place in your life. I don't know why. I don't know if this is going to make sense. I don't know if it's you or the wife, but he shows me boxes, which is usually my symbol for moving.
Okay.
And you might not even know that it's going to happen yet because they can go away in the future.
Great.
So I don't know if it's you moving or her, but somebody's moving.
Okay. I'm
because
not
I'm
sure
getting
about.
boxes for that.
Oh, you know what? My other brother, just bought a house
Okay.
and he just moved in.
Okay. That could be it then. He's just validating things that are going on so that he knows that they're going on,
Yeah.
like big things.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. That's for the moving then. He just wants his family to know the big message from him is that he's okay and he loves them.
Okay.
And he says he's very much around.
Okay.
So he shows me a celebration I don't know. Usually when they show me a celebration, it's usually a birthday or some kind of celebration that just happened or that is coming up.
Oh, his daughter's birthday.
Okay.
They're away this weekend for her birthday.
Okay, I thought so because he's showing me like it's like a big celebration thing, so that would be going away or whatever. All
Yeah.
right. So he's just letting everybody knows that he knows, he wants to say happy birthday to her and he
Okay.
knows what's going on. Also I want to go to like the beginning of the year, like January, February for some reason.
Of this year?
Well, of just the first couple months of the year.
Okay.
So it's weird because I want to say January, but then I also go into February, but I'm not really sure why.
Well, January, I had my son's birthday party, and that was the last time I seen him, and he passed away in February.
Oh, okay. All right, so that makes sense. No wonder I wanted to go both ways. Okay. Yeah, now my head's hurting again. All right. He's saying he's got to go now.
Okay.
And he's blowing you kisses and like waving. I get like a and then bye-bye kind of thing.
I'll see you
He
again
says, "Tell my
soon,
wife I
brother."
love her." And he
I
says,
will.
"Tell my wife I love her." And then he wants next time you see his daughters, give him a hug from him.
I will. I'm getting like goosebumps right now and chills.
That's just his energy, just
Yeah.
validating for you.
Ooh, he's coming in strong over here.
Yep.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
what
Love
they
you, my
do when
dog.
they're and I'm getting it here too. So that's what they do, especially when they leave sometimes.
Holy moly.
So it was a little hard bringing him through. Once I got the picture, I was able to do it. For some reason, I don't know why I couldn't. I mean, the backpack, I get that now, but
Well, thank you
I
so
hope it
much.
was helpful. I hope it was helpful for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Do you mind if we use this reading? I don't
Oh,
see Shazam
sure.
here anymore, but we'll just cut it off into its own video, and then you can have it. You download it or whatever.
Okay.
That way you have it too.
Thank you.
You're
I know
welcome.
it takes a lot of energy for you to do this, so I really appreciate it.
It does. I'm sorry it took so long for me to get you on here, and then everybody's getting a little antsy over here.
That's okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. It was a little hard to bring him in, but once he came in, he was good. Chelsea tried to leave an email, but just from figuring we can't post it. You can post emails, I think. I believe you can post emails. Anyways, your reading was not boring, Heartsash, and I think that it gave a little bit of information for people that needed to know about guides and all of that kind of stuff. So, it wasn't boring. Don't worry. I'm sure it was helpful to other people as well. And I appreciate you wanting to not give me such a draining reading. That means a lot. So I think that's it for tonight. It's almost midnight here. I have to take care of my dogs. I am exhausted. I appreciate all of you guys for being here and watching the readings and hanging out with me. And I'm sure Shazam will. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much. And if anybody wants a private reading, just reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, or my email at thepsychicsleuth.com. Everything's right there across the screen. Thank you for being here, Chastity. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me. It was fun as always. Yes, it was. I know I do them late, but actually we have a pretty good turnout from being late. Yep. My neck is killing me for some reason. Sorry, my dog decided he wanted to pull the light out of the socket and knock it down. And loves chewing on damn bottles. Anyways, you guys have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, Ziggy.